yeast.
Oh yeah, we're recording everything you guys say, so don't mess up.
Can be used against you in a court of not law, really.
Yeah,
Because I don't think anybody takes this show very seriously to begin with.
No, that and what is law anymore? 2021, what year, what time? Good start.
Smoking on the bowl, Steve. Hey, welcome to the
Hi.
Rotating Fat Podcast.
Hello.
I'm Corey David.
I'm Steve Vanderplug.
And this is a really special episode for a lot of reasons. One, because our country is falling apart and we're hanging out with friends and having beers while that's happening. Two, we get to see our buddy Aaron Maslow for the first time in forever. Say hi, Aaron.
Hey guys. Hey.
Yeah, so modest.
Good to see you.
This is the
fellas.
quietest he's ever been.
Yeah, I was going to say, this was your time
Get
to
him
shut
on
up
a
and see you in
podcast,
months.
so
And
shut
all of a
up.
sudden you're like, hey.
I like to start slow and then get crazy. No,
Yeah.
just, hey.
It's that slow build. He's giving us the foreplay right now. I appreciate that about you.
Yeah.
And we're at Crooked Stave.
Crooked Stave.
And we've been trying to get you guys on for a while now. And we were just talking about it, I think since last January we'd started the conversation. Then the whole pandemic happened. And then we thought today was a Zoom, and it wasn't, and it's in person. So we finally made it work.
We're all here.
So say hi, Chad.
Hello. Good to meet you all.
Yeah, it's really nice to be here. So just a little quick intro. What's your name? What do you do here? And a little bit about the brewery.
And remember, they're all lies, whatever he tells you.
Yeah, I believe it.
My
And
friends.
these two did go to high school together, so there's a bit of banter that I'm hoping for.
All three of us did.
But did you know
actually.
Chad in high school?
No, I
Oh, okay.
We went to the same
Aaron.
high school. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
A couple years
significantly
difference.
older.
Yeah.
You don't remember him
I'm the
dipping your head in
youngest.
the toilet?
You're the youngest?
No.
No.
I was like, because your sister was in my class, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was,
so that didn't make sense.
He's
Yeah,
just
I'm
one of those
the-
assholes that's younger than you and graduated 4 years ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's went to an Ivy League school at 15. Yeah, so tell us a
Real
little
life
bit about the
problems.
brewery and what you do here.
So I'm Chad Yakobson, owner and founder of Crooked Stave.
believe it's Yakobson, but go ahead.
Bear Creek alumni.
Debatable.
Go Bears.
But I am a Bear Creek alumni and a CSU alumni. It's also a good one too.
It's, I don't know.
Go Sunny Day.
I walked around the campus once. That's fun.
My nephew plays football there.
Beautiful. That is correct.
That's true. Anyway,
True
get
facts.
right.
Like plays on the team or just recreationally in a field like adjacent to the
He is
stadium?
a redshirt senior, and he's a starter.
Is redshirt senior's not the one you want,
He's a
right?
junior.
He's gonna be drafted.
He's gonna get.
He's gonna get drafted.
Yeah.
You think so? He's going to the show?
He's gonna get drafted like one of these Crooked Stave beers. Carry on.
Oh, all right. Well, that's been the
What do you think?
podcast.
First rounder, 32nd? What are we talking?
Is the CFL
Not
still
him.
going on?
Not him, the
It's like
beers.
third round, bro.
Yeah.
If you were to draft Crooked Stave in a draft for beers, would it be first rounder, second rounder, 32nd?
How big is the league? There's
yeah.
a lot.
There's a lot of
factors.
factors.
I mean, it depends what you need on your team. If you need a sour, then yeah, you're gonna get a first round pick.
But it's mostly like kickers. You just hold those until the end because you know nobody's going to pick them.
That's right.
Maybe like in between a running back
Just...
and a wide receiver.
I like how you're trying to up your draft
You mean a tight end? Are you talking about a tight end?
It's
It's
a
Travis
He's
Kelce.
versatile.
it's a running back situation, but it's like a 3-man operation.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
He's a
Like a
real,
tight end. It's a quarterback.
he's a quarterback. He can play him anywhere.
he's a real wild card. But
I would say
Wait,
that
this
you
is
guys
fantasy,
can do
right?
anything. Yeah,
We're talking about
fantasy.
beer or fantasy? I thought we were talking about.
I thought we were talking about fantasy.
it's hard to tell where the beer ends
I
and
like-
fantasy
I like
begins,
fantasy.
boys.
Yeah, it was
So, with that being said, you guys are a bit of a wild card when it comes to a brewery because I've known you for years, but it was mostly because of your sours. Like, even when I was living in New York, I saw your sours pop up all the time, and it's only until recently, and maybe since I moved here, that I've seen you guys really branch out more with IPAs, and obviously Von Pilsner is a hit.
Sure,
so, is sour still kind of the focus, or are you trying to really just span the gamut at this point?
I mean, it's always an interesting one. I fought really hard when I first started. Like, we're not a sour brewery. We're not a sour brewery. Ultimately, we were a sour brewery.
Really? Because I feel like at the beginning, and I didn't know you from the start, but that seemed like that was your claim to fame. So why were you even fighting
100%. Because I was so nerdy that I had to explain the difference between brettanomyces yeast, which can get really sexy when you talk about brettanomyces.
Yeah, everybody named Brett is very sexy.
And sour
I know a couple
beer.
Bretts.
They're not all
Gil.
sexy. Horrible hockey player, Brett
Sexy
Hiker.
in their own way.
The worst hockey player.
So go
That's a
on.
good Google cut to it.
Expanding
So
upon
it was,
Brett.
and what was interesting was that I was able to start Crooked Stave at the time. Now, it being 10 years ago, it seems crazy that there's like 8,000 breweries and there was less than 2,000 when we started. I still think it was such a young company.
Mhm.
And so to me, it was always about like a niche and how to get the foot in the door kind of. and my research was in brettanomyces yeast, and so that was like what we made a focus was to do that. And as well, we didn't have a brewery, so I was making beers elsewhere, bringing the wort back, fermenting it. And the thing is to me, from a quality standpoint, that would have never worked if we were trying to make IPA and make these other beers that need to be, from a quality and technical standpoint, brewed on site, as minimal handling, all these things. Whereas brettanomyces actually lent an okay environment. It's sort of like a pillow.
When you say you're just transporting wort, you mean like in the back of a sedan? Like it's in your trunk in like a tarp and you get pulled over and you're like, hey, officer, this isn't fermented yet, so it's technically not alcohol.
It's actually a Chevy Silverado.
In the truck, man.
You can both swim in it.
Buckets?
And no, it was
there were milk jugs,
like
Aaron?
175-gallon tarp. Bucket?
Yeah, sure, like a pool, like a hot tub full.
Yeah, that's where you get that
Depending
good,
on how much you want to warm it up.
that's where you get that good funk from. You pick
Good
up a couple
funk.
people in Greeley, you drive around the state a little bit, inoculate it, and then you wind up at the brewery and you bottle it. That's it.
You don't
That's
need the
brewing.
orchards or anything
Sure,
like that.
I've.
You don't need to go to Siebel.
It was
Aaron,
Brett.
you know that.
It was actually this guy, Brett. He was going to that.
It's actually a very strict part of our
That's where
hiring
the
process.
brettanomyces came
What
from.
is
They would
that?
scrape it right out of it.
And we would just call it brettanomyces.
This one's Tetomyces.
Denomyces.
Ted. I used to know Ted.
I knew a Ted, but
Did you kill him?
Ted's
I was gonna
dead.
say you used to
Wow.
know Ted. You used to know a Ted. So,
wasn't dead, is dead. Oh, it doesn't matter.
because I'm drinking,
Debatable.
we're drinking your Juicy West right now, and I mean, IPAs weren't something that you guys were really known for very long.
So yeah, from our standpoint, we didn't hang our hat on that. It wasn't what we founded the brewery on and everything. For me, really, my background, my love is fermentation, which we'll get into a little bit today. Some wine, some other things here.
Yeah, you got a lot of offerings.
And so the fermentations, and that's always really what I've hung my head on. We used to have our slogan was cultured in yeast.
Isn't it hang your hat on? Like, what do you?
Yeah, hang your head is a little.
Are you hanging your decapitated head?
Yeah,
These
whoa.
IPAs?
It's 2020. You're doing a bit of everything.
It's not 2020 anymore. It's 2021.
Break out the
You live it in the
guillotine. He
past.
swears by this
Well, the
stuff.
good
It's
thing
the
is that
future.
that must mean COVID's over then.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
done.
totally.
Good to go.
Racism and COVID, they're
Yeah.
both over.
Ironically,
No more masks.
America
No more
went with
masks.
them, so America's part of that too.
Yeah, so you haven't.
It's head immunity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get it if you're dead, dude. Up the head.
So as we invested in the brew house and all of that, we really were able to then kind of shine a light and open up on various types of beers. I personally love lagers.
Mhm.
You can only eat a burp like that. In fact, I feel you can best appreciate an IPA only when you burp like that.
Yeah, the gas is
It's
key.
the best.
Yeah.
way to
That's a carbonation.
taste
The
those
best
hops.
carbonation test,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
You get a unique flavor aroma from the hops.
I'm getting it right now.
I'm not kidding.
I'm getting it twice. Yeah,
That's
once and now it's back. Aaron, how hard was it
How can
growing
you
up
do
with this guy to lie to him about how good his beers were?
It was fine. We didn't really grow up together. We kind of met. I mean, we knew each other, and then we rekindled our friendship over
When he
the last
started
year
a
or so.
brewery and could provide something for
Yeah, when you had something to give.
Yeah, when he
That's-
had stuff, and
yeah.
I knew it
That's
was.
how I
I
feel.
could take things to Broncos games. He would just be
Yeah.
there.
No, I think the first time we really hung out was at your first. I'm guessing it was a brewery. It was on like 6th and Bryant, and
Not me.
That was you.
Jesus.
That was when somebody from Dakota Ridge. Get the fuck out of here,
Wait,
man.
was it after a Broncos game?
No. This was way back. This was like.
Is your name Chad or Thad? I get them confused.
Is
a
it
lot of
here?
times.
Which one?
Was
Sixth
this
and
this
Bryant.
room?
No,
Or,
this
I
is
mean,
like a
this-
newer facility for you guys.
You haven't been. Where was your
This is
first
our original. This
Oh,
is
is
our
it?
Oh, then
original
it was
facility.
here. I just,
Yeah, we just did such a good
Okay.
job remodeling. You don't recognize
I
it.
guess I'd
well,
only
you
ever
don't
seen.
have all those cans now, but
Yeah, because that's part of the remodeling job. They just fill
Bringing
it
in
with
the
these
cans.
cans. They're not even actually. They're just aesthetic. They're not even for purpose.
yeah.
They're not real.
Anyway,
I've seen it.
you had just finished a run of some. You were
Wow.
filming in
Very
Oberly was
specific.
here.
It would be here.
Yeah,
That'd be
and
good.
he-
This is
and
the
you
OG
guys,
location.
You guys gave us a tour, and it was
Yeah.
like the whole gang, and we were all here, and Ted was alive, and it was we hung out, we was,
Ted
yeah,
was
we
alive.
were doing
Dead baby.
tap room. It was great.
That's awesome.
But that was you had just started, but I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was here. I thought it
Would
was
have like
way
long
south
hair
of here.
and stuff, probably.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, you
Lion's
had long
mane, really.
flowing. Yeah, God,
I
Yeah,
could
it's
see
good.
it. So I guess I didn't know that you had another location i.e. this one, outside of the one that you were in Rhino? Because that's the only one that I'd ever visited up until like you guys opened this up to the public about a year ago now.
Right.
I think. Right.
Yeah, this one was open for about a year, if I'm remembering timing correctly, give or take.
Yeah.
In the very beginning. So the very beginning. There's many very beginnings for Crooked Stave.
We
We're
came
still
over
trying to
here.
just
I think the
brewery.
week that it opens, we
Sell out.
we had just recorded an episode with Flight Co. over in Berkeley, and you guys were opening up that week, and we came over here, and that's when we got the conversation kind of going, and you were like, "Do you guys know Aaron Maslow?" and then here
from
we are.
comedy for sure.
Yeah.
Comedy. Yeah.
Everybody knows me.
Because everyone
from
knows
comedy.
Aaron. Yeah.
I don't know
Everybody
why.
The beer world. Aaron Maslow of the beer world.
Yeah, we've heard him. He's not great.
He's a legend, though.
He's pretty
I
hoppy.
went
Not for the reasons you'd want to be, but he's a he's a legend.
Hoppy and sour.
Yeah.
I heard he's a comedian.
Yeah, you heard wrong.
Well, you know, anybody can call themselves.
Well, here's, you know what, the next question that people usually ask when you find out somebody is a comedian is, tell us a joke.
Tell us a joke.
So we're going to have Chad do that right now, and the reason
But
first, we do have to get to the chug.
Let's get to the chug.
We're going to do it. I feel like, I know you put a lot of thought into
I have
this,
to Google a joke.
and I appreciate, that's not how it works. You got to have
If you're
your
looking
own.
for dad jokes, take one from Maslow.
Yeah, he's got
Hey.
Yeah, you want to borrow, you can borrow one from Aaron.
$5.
Yeah. This is a Ron White
That's a going
situation.
rate
He's
now?
going to buy
No,
these
it's-
jokes
that's a
off of you.
discount.
I'm glad you don't sell that rate.
Don't worry. It's
You should
worth
sell
way
beer.
more.
It's better.
I should sell beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Sell beer and jokes.
Are you hiring?
Do you want to buy any? Send me some veggies.
I will.
Do you want to be a part of the CSA?
I want to be part of the CSA. I'm reading a book about raised beds right now for gardening. And
Overrated.
No way.
Finally
dude.
getting a
That's-
bed frame.
You gotta fine tune your soil.
You sell my entire farm.
I did, and you could be doing much more.
Oh,
Sorry, you're getting
ouch.
Wow, he just went full dad on
Boy.
it real hard.
Just tell him you've seen us comedy and say the same thing.
Yeah. And you need to try
You
a lot
showed
harder,
me your
Aaron.
comedy.
It was towards the end, so I don't remember it. I just remember everyone else before.
Yeah, that's going to be a
One.
segment that we do with the
Is
show.
that
We're going to
an
watch
open mic?
10 minutes of Aaron's comedy. We're going to break it
Aaron-
down like we do
Aaron-
with these beers.
You guys heard of these masks? Oh my God! What's up with these things? I can barely breathe. Oh!
All right, Chad, what are we chugging today?
We're gonna chug an 8.3%.
Trying to get in that top 10, baby.
It's the one with the ducks on it, yeah?
That's the one with the ducks.
Okay, cool.
Brewery mascot.
Oh, we
It's
don't have a pint
extremely
glass back here for you,
chuggable.
though, for you to chug, unless you're going to do it right out of the can.
Oh, you gotta do it out of the can.
I have a
Okay.
The other
question.
people don't do it out of the can.
Lots of people do. It's whatever
Yeah.
it's whatever you want to do.
I mean, if you want a shotgun, it'll probably go quicker. If
Yeah,
you're
if you
trying
want
to
a
break
shotgun,
that
that's
time.
fine.
You can't shuck on that whole thing.
milk stout.
Wow,
brewed
sounds
with
like a
cacao, cinnamon,
challenge.
Vanilla.
Can I
Well,
ask
it's
you-
not just me. We are doing it.
Right.
You're also the guest.
Question.
So you're
What's
welcome.
the milk of that part?
Well, it's from a cow.
They got a cow out
It's
back.
actual lactose.
Well, they dehydrated it, so it's vegan.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's powdered milk, actually.
Maslow's going to be taking a shit 25 minutes into the podcast.
Oh, you think it'll
he's
be that long?
vegetarian.
I don't
2
think so.
minutes.
You can,
Today
I mean,
I'll
it's
be
a long...
vegetarian. Today I'll be vegetarian.
Aaron, for what it's worth, it is a long mic cable, so if you want to go into the bathroom and...
Hey, you guys, can you mute me?
Listen, we've all seen it said, okay?
That's too heavy.
You're doing a Von Pilsner chaser?
Or, I mean, I just think we should like chug a few, maybe. It could be good.
I love that you just like
Or-
came ready to rage. You were so
or this
excited.
one's
When you
double.
found out that this wasn't a Zoom, you were just like, oh, thank God.
I had to drink by myself in my basement.
Not till later.
Just
I
watching
mean, I
Windows...
still have things to look forward to.
Just watching Windows Media Player tripping on mushrooms. Like, I'll come up in a minute, Mom.
Putting on a different background. Like, is that
That
really
would
my
be
background? That's not my background.
a
Is
great
that really
thing.
my
What's your
Yeah,
background right
yeah,
now?
that was my childhood.
I'm willing to guess. I'm going to guess Justin Simmons. Right now? No?
It's so boring.
God.
Actually, I'm like, I'm anti-Zoom, like how people are like anti-mask and stuff, but I just don't do it.
Oh, dude.
I just don't do it. No, I actually haven't done that many. But like a thing or two I've had to do, and I just haven't had
Yeah.
to do Zoom meetings.
I was
Yeah.
supposed
So
to do
mine's
one
lame.
today.
Yeah,
Some-
all these
some barrels.
sheeple on
That
Zoom.
is gonna
Have
be
you
one.
done any? I mean, I'm sure you have done Zoom shows. Zoom comedy.
I did two, and I'm not doing them.
I'm
Yeah,
never
I've done
doing
too.
them again. Somebody
I
else
like-
brought those up to me
I
recently.
like the human connection.
Yeah.
What are
Just
you,
fault-
crazy?
Fault me for that.
In this, the age of COVID? You just need to shelter in place and
Let's
not talk
talk
to anybody.
Yeah, human connection. What a
Oh,
fairy.
that's so
huh?
2020.
What a weirdo.
It's
What a
2021.
strange-
2021.
Free.
baby.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Free.
It's all over.
The world
Yeah,
changed.
everything's the
Just
same.
like It's like when you
This
turn
time warp-
21,
Time warp.
everything changes. It's like the most amazing thing in the world. You can feel it, the difference.
I don't
Yeah.
remember turning
Just like
21, but I bet it was great.
It's like when I thought. It's like I thought the world was going to be different when I lost my virginity. I was like,
21.
everything's going to be rosier. I'm going to be a man, and then I was still.
For like 2 days, I'm sure it was great.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, my 25th year was pretty good.
Can
all
I-
things considered.
Can I
but-
bring up a TikTok that I saw today that I thought was hilarious? It's a
Maslow, what are you doing on TikTok?
neighbors
stay at
sent it
home
to me.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't
No,
Stave,
they
it's something
didn't.
like
They
that.
didn't send it to you. You
yeah,
found
they-
it yourself.
I sent it to them, and then they said, "Please stop." And I said, "It's just stop if you don't want to get text messages from me."
Yeah, you know how automated services
Yeah,
work. You don't have to
robot.
put please in there.
Stop.
Just stop.
Just stop. It was a guy getting his ID checked, and he starts pulling it out of his wallet, and the clerk is like, "Oh, that's good enough. I can see the one," because he was 21. Because the
Yeah,
year.
Aaron hasn't done
Yeah.
comedy in a while,
Yeah.
and it doesn't show.
I'm
We
gonna
love
s-
him the same.
I'm gonna start a TikTok of Maslow
So wait, was that a joke?
explaining TikToks.
I bet it's not a joke if you have to explain it.
You'll think about it, and you'll be like, "Man, the explanation was hilarious."
Shit. All
I
right,
just
so
want to hear the one about the kid, the shovel and the trees.
Oh man, that's my favorite.
oh yeah,
That
yeah, that's your best
almost
story.
really happened.
It's my favorite.
It's your best story. I love
It's
that
the
one.
best story. It's the only one that really happened.
You should just say it like 3 times over and then mic drop, and that would be the entire
That would
thing.
be
You would have won if that happened. You would've
And
won.
they're all by the way, we're talking about a joke that Aaron tells / story that he tells in his stand-up. That it's chef's kiss. It's wonderful. I love that
Second
one.
only to
I can't
Chad's
believe you
joke
c-
that he's
I
going to
can't
tell.
believe you came up with that all on your own.
It's essentially it's amazing,
It took a lot of funking.
and it's essentially about his son shitting in the backyard. I don't feel like I'm giving away the punchline by telling people
No.
that it's about your son shitting in the
That
backyard.
could be any joke I tell. Runs the gamut my whole set.
And that's the key to a versatile comic is you just change up the punchline and it's gonna work.
Same setup, different punchline.
Yeah,
I've had a sideshow that's always failed called Joke and Tell, and 1 year at El Torito.
What are you talking about? There was 20 people watching.
I know, online. Yeah, 20 people watching online.
In
There
all
was
of the
more.
internet.
We did it. We used to do it live way back in the day, like years and years ago. And I had Maslow on, and he brought his kid. His kid was his show and tell.
Ooh, dude.
Put him in a wagon. Put a blanket over his head.
This one should be
Great.
given the
Fell
beer. It should
asleep
be like
like
a
a parrot.
5-second runoff.
A 5-second round.
Yeah, look at that. It's like motor oil.
It's heavy.
It is
This
heavy,
was
but
your
we've had
choice.
people chug this before.
But
Yeah.
this was your choice.
Probably just gonna have to redo it 2 or 3 times.
This is the milk stout of beers.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
That's a pour.
For
wow.
anybody that's not
Cinnamon, cayenne, vanilla, cacao.
for anybody
Goes
that's
down
not
easy.
familiar, as soon as the beer hits your lips, Steve will start the timer. We'll roast you while it happens, and as soon as you're done, he'll stop. And then as soon as you're done chugging the beer, you do have to tell us your joke immediately after.
As a white male, I can't tell jokes.
Yeah, right.
Whoa!
Yeah, right.
Actually, we've dominated the industry for
For
quite a
so
long
long,
time. It's
yeah.
only up until
that was
recently.
pre-2020.
That's true. That
The
was
runway-
it ended in 2019.
The
Boys, we
runway
had-
has run out.
We had a good run, boys.
I'll
Can I say?
I'll be
It's okay.
fired from the company that I 100% own. There's no one above me if I tell a joke.
This is the
It's too bad.
this is the Uber of
You can't get fired from your own company. That's the joy of it.
What? You hand enough over.
I mean,
By way.
the board can vote you off apparently if you say
Yeah,
something.
aren't you a
But you don't have a
chairman? I
board.
have one of those.
Yeah, so you're good. I think you're safe. All
I
right.
mean, we could have
Change
a mob
the
storm
locks.
this.
Change the locks.
Yeah.
Get back in.
Shit, lock the gates right now.
Storm friggin'
I have the key
Stave.
to the gates. Change the lock to the
To the key. Change the lock to the
Up,
key.
up, 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 up. All right, who's going first?
Aaron.
All right,
I think
I'll
we should just
first.
go.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
'cause
looks
you're
like
gonna-
Chad.
we
No,
should
we
just go
can't.
to-
You can't go at the
just
same time.
No, you go first. Yeah, you can't time us both. I think.
Yeah, he'll recognize.
How many
what
ounces
time
is
it
that?
By the
was.
way,
He
that's
doesn't
only
have a
8
sunglasses.
That's only 8 ounces. I thought you were.
You said
I
you were
thought
chugging
were
out of the
consistent.
can.
It's like 10.
It's a 16-ounce
Okay,
can.
he's gonna chug 2.
That's not how math works.
Can I stand up?
Great.
Oh, that does make sense. It is only 8.
You can't do it at the same time though. We have to do it separate.
Listen, buddy, I only read at a 10th grade math level, but
Where can I put my
you
gum?
can't
Under the table.
pour a
But you have
16-ounce
to get it back in
can
afterwards.
evenly into 2 glasses and tell me it's 10
It really
ounces.
is. I didn't think you actually had gum, and you absolutely are swallowing your
Did
gum.
you just put it under the table?
No, he's still chewing.
I'll put it in my gullet. Here we go.
Wait, okay, are
boy.
you going?
No, I don't know.
Because here's the thing: if Maslow,
Oh, I don't know.
when Maslow's not going to tell us a joke because you can find his.
No, let me
company
tell a
online.
joke.
Yeah, do you
No.
want to tell the
I
story?
have one in the chamber. It's
You're
a
gonna
short
tell
one, it's
us-
easy.
He's
You're
got a
gonna-
fart in the chamber, Steve. Let him tell it.
Then Chad go first.
Let
My
Chad go
joke's
first.
gonna be better.
I'm going to have
His
you.
joke will be better. My joke will be better.
I want you to
Sounds
tell a
good.
story about bombing instead. Yeah, every other comic has to tell a story.
Why
about
limit
bombing.
it to one?
Hard to
You can
even,
do both.
Hard to even remember a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
There were so many.
mostly because he hasn't
Maybe
had a gig in
that
so
maybe
long.
that ID joke. That you
How about
just
literally?
told.
How about literally the last time you had a
Remember-
gig, Aaron?
Do you guys remember 5 minutes ago? Was that a bomb?
All right. Whenever you're ready, Aaron. Double fisted.
All right, 2 at a time. Here we go.
Yeah, double. Yeah, just do two at the same time.
All right. What was the record?
The
I wouldn't worry about it.
You're not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat any records.
I wouldn't worry about it.
All right.
We're just happy you're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Participation trophy.
You
For
know,
us, really.
performing under pressure is not my thing.
Yeah, we could use your full attention here. I need your help roasting.
Googling what he thinks is a joke.
I
All
need
right.
your help roasting.
You ready? Here
Aaron.
we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
I mean, they
bomb
look
double
like
winners
tiny
this
little
year.
glasses in his
Oh,
hands.
a couple
but
drops, but
not
no,
bad.
it's mostly
Like
there is a switch.
Like how he
Love
gives his
chocolate.
kids
Yeah,
chocolate milk just
okay,
right down the
all
gullet.
right.
That's actually pretty good with two different glasses. You had to do the
Yeah,
exchange.
the exchange. Probably
You
slide
can
it
burp
down.
into the microphone if you want.
See his face? I'm concerned.
He looks like he's about to pass out.
I'm concerned that I won't beat that time. That seemed really fast.
It was really fast, and he does have he has an open surface to chug out of,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like a tight can. That's why the shotgun.
Yeah, we should share glasses.
share COVID. I think is what you were about to say. That's
Maslow-
Lady and the Tramp, the 16-ounce beer can.
I can't talk yet.
Pretty good time for
By
a
the
dry
way,
you know what's
January
best?
there,
If you
Maslow.
throw up, we put
Yeah.
3 seconds onto your time. by the
Yeah.
way.
I will
you
not
gotta
throw
keep it
up
down.
yet.
I can't make any
Yeah.
promises for later, but it's okay. He's strutting around like a
I hate
goose.
that.
He's got his neck in the air.
What was that?
He had there's cayenne pepper in there, so this is basically a
That's
juice.
not what
There
it
is,
is.
yeah.
It's in my guts.
Yeah, so I got
So
this
around
is
the pho I had
milk-
for lunch.
milk
Oh,
stout
big
brewed
way.
with cacao. No, not cacao. Cocoa.
You made that?
Yeah.
That's white
It's
person's
cacao.
cacao. That's white people cacao.
I wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
Cinnamon, cayenne, and vanilla, 8.3%.
I would recommend it to everybody.
And this went with pho.
Nice save.
Yeah.
World champions.
Okay, we're
World
good.
champ.
All right, what's your joke?
Stillborns. Now there's a dying breed.
Nice.
And when's the last time you bombed, or a memorable bomb story?
Oh,
other than
you know,
other than the
Like
show,
a really good bomb. I don't
a
like,
really good bomb.
yeah.
the good kind that we appreciate.
One time I called a lady a, can I say the C word?
Karen.
I don't know. Should we ask your wife?
No,
Can you say the C word, Maslow?
I may not. I
Maybe.
can't. I called the lady a cunt when I was auditioning to host at a comedy club in Canada. That was my host set. Was bitch, you're being a cunt.
Oh,
You were
boy.
auditioning?
And, yeah,
That's pretty bad.
That was my big break up there at the.
Is that the reason that you're a huge hit in Canada?
That's right, big hit.
I've always considered you the Nickelback of Denver comedy.
I
So
feel a little like you do say that.
I mean, our class song at Bear Creek was photographed by Dave.
No,
Ours
really?
was Today by the Smashing Pumpkins, or Today's the Greatest.
That's cool. I like that. A little more grungy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Yeah, dude, it's so hard when you're auditioning because you need everything to go perfect, right? You need the whole deal to just nobody's stopping you, nobody's heckling, and at that time, if you're auditioning for hosting, you're usually like not that far into comedy a lot of times. I don't know how deep into comedy were you at that point?
This was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, this wasn't very long. No, this was probably my 3rd year. And the best part was after I bombed, the usher came up. So like the way this comedy club was situated, the usher sat inside the club.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what you were doing there.
Yeah.
Nobody else has ever done that. I'm like, okay, cool. That's positive feedback.
Yeah,
You're
Standing
standing
out.
out.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
unique.
That's
Yeah.
unique. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's a
want-
revolutionary.
I want the cunt collar.
Yeah. So you don't work there?
No, I don't. I didn't make it.
Did you have a conversation with them about
They were like, "You're not ready." That was clear. It was clear. You haven't done it much.
What was the context of calling her a cunt? Was she just talking
She
during
was
your set?
super. Oh yeah, so she was super excited to see the headliner, and she had bought the whole weekend, and this was the Thursday night show.
Who does that?
This
That's
lady.
crazy,
And
yeah.
so she was so.
That is-
okay, so that's
Whoa.
the personality
Yeah,
we're looking
yeah,
at,
yeah.
right?
Because
For
most comics, especially like on the road, do the same. Mostly the same. Like you might get like a 5-minute variant in an hour.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, if you're doing an hour and 15, you can only run so much material.
it's going to be the
usually.
same thing almost every time, unless they're like solely a crowd work comic, which can be fun.
So
Which
if you're buying,
kinda was, but
if you're buying 3 nights worth of that,
yeah.
that's a different level of
right.
psycho.
And so she did that, and this was the earliest show of the week, and
All right, Chad, you've had enough time to Google jokes.
yeah,
okay,
come on, Chad.
you've had plenty of time.
Nobody wants to. This isn't about me.
It's just getting worse.
Hey,
It's
we
just
need you
getting
to be
worse.
actively engaged in
Are
the
you
show.
what are you
not
watching
prepping for-
Maslow's set over there?
We're literally watching you get ready to bomb. So I don't want.
Does everybody have to do a joke? Like all the beer
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
The beer people have to do a joke. The comics will have to talk about bombing.
Yeah.
Yours was the most concise though, which I appreciate. It was like, hey, I did this thing, and
Well, I've
I
told
called
her-
the lady a cunt, and it's like, well, yeah, of course you bombed.
Well, it was confrontational to the point where they escorted her out and then canceled her tickets for the weekend.
I mean,
So
so
she
you weren't in the
lost.
wrong,
Okay.
really, then.
Well, I.
Have you started
I
it?
wasn't. Yeah, I did.
You started it?
Well, I mean, I started by like, hey, how's everybody doing, man? What's your ugly face all about? And she was like,
What's your ugly face all
you know how you talk
about?
to people.
You know, just starting the conversation. And yeah, I'm sure you had a joke that segued into that.
Sure, it was going there, but yeah, so she got escorted out, wasn't allowed back for the weekend, and did not get to see.
Who was the headliner?
So you two just hung out for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, well, she was my plant.
That's
so.
how I met my wife.
So your headliner was Steve Upsetter.
We've been happily married for 13 years. The headliner was Ben Glebe, which is the guy had a show. I don't know. He was a voice in a couple of like motion picture cartoons,
Okay.
and he had a game show network TV show. He was a host.
Fun.
He was nice.
Yeah. All right, Chad, do you feel prepared for what's about to
Sounds
happen?
interesting.
I bet it was. I bet it's as interesting as this cacao and cinnamon and cayenne milk stout that's making its way into my lower intestine.
This
Is it
cacao
bubbling
bullshit.
yet?
It's past that part.
It's still moving through his small
Do
intestine.
you know how lava comes out of the earth?
Yeah.
Well, there's two ways. There's two, because it either comes out really fast or it comes out like slowly, you know?
But
It's
you know,
like-
it's doing both of those right now.
both ends.
Both.
3 ends, actually. The front, back, and top.
And that's when my kid was in the backyard shitting.
Steve's going to be jizzing cinnamon for the next week.
Yeah, jizz and cinnamon.
Beautiful.
Dude, have you done that cinnamon challenge?
Where you shove a rod of cinnamon up your dick.
Cookie cinnamon cookie?
Cookie cinnamon cookie. It's called a snickerdoodle, and people love it.
favorite Christmas pastime. That's right.
Also, hey guys, don't tell my wife I had beer.
Aaron's doing a dry January. And just chucked an
And are
8%
you
stat.
vegan or vegetarian?
I've been vegan. Whoops. For the
I've been
yeah,
vegan.
Yeah, there's milk in that stout, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows? This is a real Russian.
I think he's both lactose and
And lactose intolerant.
probably open-minded and tolerant.
And homosexual and
yeah, yeah.
This whole podcast is immoral on so
Yeah,
many
this is
levels.
nothing
you have
but
no
sin.
respect for me
Yeah, this is nothing but
or
sin.
my kind.
Yeah, that's kind of how we like to
I have respect for you. You did okay on the chug, so I
Thank
have
you.
okay respect for you.
I want to know what the record was, but after
Well,
Chad.
We'll get into it. All right, Chad. Chugging the same beer. Whenever you're ready to rock
Half
and roll,
as
my friend.
fast.
Standing up,
Oh, I hope he fucking buries
into
Maslow.
a-
I hope he buries him
getting into
so
an
hard right
athletic
here.
position.
Somebody feel that can. Is that can full?
Squats.
Here's the thing,
I'm
redemption-wise,
It's actually really full.
he can probably either
Someone's
be
probably
under the
gonna
chug
fire
or the
George
joke.
out.
It's a 50-50
Too
shot.
Yeah, according to Chad, that's a 20-ounce can of beer.
That is
I mean,
that
it
is
does.
a full 16
It looks
ounces.
a little too full.
Yeah, that's a
Just saying. I know where it's
16.1.
supposed
You better
to be.
clear
This
that
is
out.
where it's supposed to be. Okay.
Is it the Crooked Stave 15?
The Royal 15.
Are you going shotgun or you're just going straight can?
Eddie Royal.
He's just going straight can.
Straight
It's gonna
can,
be
'cause I
a-
already opened it.
It's gonna be a dad
Alright,
chug.
alright.
Gas,
I mean-
gassing off and
okay.
stuff.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should.
Then we should just start, chugging on pills.
Slamming some
Decisions were
Pilsners.
made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mistakes were
Move the
made.
camera. Do this.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I regret it already.
Hey,
That's
Chad.
a problem.
I'm rooting for you.
Cool. I'm procrastinating.
I know. I did the same.
Stalling.
I stalled.
Filibuster.
It's like stalling.
And if this bill was enacted into law, think of all the
Okay, so
children.
what I have here.
Yeah, whenever you go for reals, I'm ready.
I take breaths. I do this.
Yeah,
You
take
got
some
it.
rests.
I have full faith in you.
Yeah, and then you've got
You will
that
crush
very
Maslow.
boyish bandana to clean up all the dribble. that
That's
you
a
see.
cowboy bandana.
Yeah, sure.
He's a cowboy,
Real outlaw.
baby.
I guess it is
Sorry,
cowboy.
sorry.
Heaven, the sunshine shining.
Hey,
Hey, dude.
Wow.
it goes down pretty
2, 3.
easy.
Oh yeah, the rest.
It's a little wild and a little strange when you're chugging beer out on the range.
When you stand up and you're in front of all these people and you're
Damn, he's going to Maslow talking shit, and he really just tilted that shit.
you
down.
can't
Oh,
yeah,
it's
you
a
went in
I already
ambitiously.
know
Yeah.
it's not gonna work because of the guggling.
all right.
Yeah.
Start over. Put it back.
Oh, we're
Put
just
it back in
gonna
the
have
can.
to open a New one.
No, it's okay. We're
All
still.
over.
We're
We
still
can
tiny.
redo it. We can redo it.
We're doing a redo.
No, I stopped it because I was in
Yeah,
case he was done.
That's a
In case-
bad. No, that's a bad way of doing it.
Nah, yeah, I know.
That was really bad. That was
All
really
right,
bad.
Glory
decision.
set.
Teenagers
Glory
chug
set.
your beer.
We're gonna have to reset that
Do
one.
you want to go get something else?
God, that was horrible.
Why
That
don't
thing
you
was
chug
gonna
wine?
take
That should go down
10
easy.
seconds.
We'll
I do
give
like-
you-
I do
Split it
like
in 2
chugging-
cups.
I do like chugging wine.
Yeah. Do you want to do it the way the Maslow did it,
Nobody does.
or
like
you can,
Maslow.
or you can do a sun prince? If you want to just do a sun prince, like I'm cool with
God,
that.
how amazing it would be just to shotgun it. That would really be fucked up.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay,
I got a
there you
key
go.
right here.
We're gonna-
I got a
We got
knife.
knives in
I got a
your
knife and a key.
We're gonna bring
Yeah,
it
we're all
back.
adults. We all have keys.
Go get more.
This is what a conference center,
I
a
should have
conference
brought
room
the
is
ones
made
you
for.
lent me.
Yeah. So should we take a timeout?
We can take a TV timeout.
Yeah, we'll talk with Maslow. We'll keep it going.
Yeah,
This could be a long
Yeah,
episode.
I'll do it the same way you did it.
All right.
Nobody
so
else.
you're
So we
gonna
keep it going.
you'll enjoy it better because
That was
My way
gonna
is
take
the
like 10 seconds or more.
Yeah, I mean, you were already
still,
at 5.5.
That was a
You
really-
were
Still
already
not the
at
worst
5.5.
time.
That was a
that we're
really
doing the
bad.
bar.
Oh, also, yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. I went to a party at CSU, which they're not great.
Like recently.
No, I was younger. I was like 12 or maybe 13. But no, when I was in college, I went over to the CSU and this house party. It was like a townhome, and they had a loft, and they had a beer bong from the top end of the loft down to the main floor. So it was like a whole pitcher of beer
That's some hero shit.
Oh,
and
boy.
more.
Yeah.
And I fucking took that thing
Straight to the ass.
straight to the man. I almost died, but I did it, and then I did my goodbyes. Like
Yeah,
you
you
know, like
just
a gym.
peace out
Yeah,
immediately
yeah, yeah.
I was
after.
like, well, you guys have been a lot of fun, but I'm gotta get to
That
my
seems-
Ending
car.
on a strong closer, dude.
That seems,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know,
that
right?
seems like
Yeah.
that's your time to leave, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that
you're not gonna
time-
get any cooler.
I did not bomb that time.
You bombed.
I bombed.
Our big thing in
Bombed.
school was we would love doing like the wizard sticks, wizard staff. You guys ever
Oh,
play
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Tape the cans together.
The
Yeah, where you
Cans,
tape the
yeah.
cans together, and we got one so big one time that you had to literally get up onto a set of like stairs to push the end up,
What?
so that you could have 12 ounces of beer.
Damn.
A lot of fun times.
We always talked about Edward 40 hands. Never did it.
We
Oh,
did
I
it
did it over
one
40
time.
hands.
Good idea, bad idea.
Hard to pee.
Yeah,
Well,
Fun.
that's
It's
awesome.
fun.
That's
It's
why you just
fun.
got to do it with your dicks out. You just everybody unzip at
Man,
the
you went to
beginning.
a weird frat.
Everybody
was
unzip at the
high school.
beginning.
Yeah. We did like a beer Olympics one time where we like built a Stanley Cup out of cans, but not.
That's kind of fun.
I did a beer bong one time. I did 2 beers at one time, 2 Coors Lights at a time, and I puked a whole bunch.
Really?
Yeah.
My
2
neighbor-
Coors Lights at a time.
Yeah,
My
just
neighbor
from one
does
bong.
Coors Light beer bongs with his kids. Well, his kids don't do them, but they're there.
Wait, his
But
kids
then-
My
are-
neighbor,
Hold
quote
on,
unquote.
how old
Quote
are
unquote,
his
my
kids?
neighbor.
They're impressionable. They're
Yeah.
probably in their late mids.
He's just like an
Or
influencer.
mid-tens.
Yeah, he's just like, hey,
They're not-
hey, Tommy, hold the camera. Daddy's got to do some work.
It's weird because Maslow's wife is actually hanging out with him right now. I wonder
Hey,
why she's hanging out with your neighbor's kids.
No, she likes to do beer bongs too. She's cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Magic.
It's a good time.
I did a beer Olympics though one time at a buddy's house, and
really.
I really had to think about
I don't
your
know.
fart for a second.
I don't
I
know
hope
if
that
that-
came up on the audio.
I don't know if we picked that up on the camera.
Because Corey just farted, and it was a good push.
And I didn't
It
even
was
have
cute.
I didn't even have a lactose stop.
Yeah, you didn't. Well, it's gonna take a second.
That's why it stayed in.
It's a slow trickle.
Yeah, it's
So you did
gonna
Beer
be
Olympics
diarrhea.
at one point.
That's right. So we're doing this beer Olympics, and I
Nice
think
pour,
I made it
Steve.
through two
Hold that one
events.
up for the camera.
We did. I fucked up.
That's
I blew it.
awful.
I blew it. We'll admit it.
Looks like a snow cone.
Yeah, you guys come on into my brewery and get in the back room, and then I gotta go real quick. That's Chad just left us here.
Yeah, what if this is like an escape room from here on out? We gotta figure out the clues. It's like, why did you plant all this Bronco stuff and
You
these
know what's
rubber
gonna be
ducks in
that
here?
picture?
Hidden somewhere in this room is an 8-ball.
I know it's somewhere.
We're just,
You'll find it.
Everybody's
You'll
gonna-
sniff it out.
yeah, you gotta follow your nose.
So we're doing this beer Olympics, and I get through like 2 events. One was like washers, and the other one was like sit down for a minute because you've had a lot. And it's 9.
That was one of your events?
I passed out. No, wait, that's not what happened. It started to rain. It got one of the, those Colorado June monsoons where
Oh, yeah.
just like torrential downpour in the middle of the day. So it starts doing that, and we kind of call it, and everybody goes inside, and I'm like, I'm playing in the rain, and I went and laid down in this rushing gutter of water in this like neighborhood street, and I got up all panicked because I forgot I had just bought my new Razor phone, and it was in my
I
pocket.
thought you were gonna say scooter.
Yeah, I wish.
Like-
It was a different time, man. We just had Motorola's.
Cool guy Aaron
And I lost that.
on his
that
Razor phone and Razor scooter.
Yeah, and then I passed out in a bed, and I was naked.
Wow.
It was a good time.
Those are the
Living,
days.
ripping, baby.
Yeah.
Do you know Steve Stevenson?
What a terrible name. I knew a kid in high school named John Johnson.
Oh yeah, that's,
I don't know. I remember the name now that you bring it up because it's my name plus itself plus son. It's the same.
you're Steve and Steve's son. How is that possible?
Yeah.
We used to do case races in college where it was a case of beer, a bottle of liquor, and a blunt.
Oh my god! Like
But
how big
you'd
a
have-
bottle,
Like a regular size
But
liquor
for
bottle,
people.
like a 750.
not just one person.
It was for, you do teams of like 6 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like while that was happening, you're playing beer pong and flip cup
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that shit. you
We
know?
did for our beer Olympics. We did like beer pong, flip cup. Like I forget what it's called. And maybe like Civil War. I think is the name of it. Where it's
Oh,
like
yeah, I
beer
know.
pong in 3s.
I think
instead of 2s.
there's that or Beirut, right?
Beirut is
It's called this. I think it's the same game, but it's different name where you
sure,
have
same but different.
3 triangles.
Same,
Yeah, it's
but
equal.
different.
Equal,
It's unusually the same.
but separate. There's 3 triangles at the end of each table. I think, like 3 cup triangles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same deal.
We used to play this game called Landmine, where you take a 30 rack
Yes,
of Keystone. And
Landmine.
you'd like flick a quarter.
Oh.
It's like quarters, but you get to use your empty Keystone cans to stop the quarter, and then you'd play knuckles and throw the quarter at people.
Oh,
It was-
landmines for us was like supposed to be like Minesweeper, where it was like you get like 40 shot glasses, and you play like it's like quarters, but whatever it lands in, like that's the one you drink.
Gotcha.
And so it could be beer, it could be vodka, it could be
fuck.
wine.
Yeah, no, this one was if there was a can on the table, you flick the quarter, the next person had to keep it going, but when it was on your turn, you could not hit an empty can with the quarter, otherwise you'd get the knuckles. And it was
Knuckles was a
devastating.
stupid.
Let me see your
drinking game.
Let me see your knuckles.
I
you
was
scarred up?
pretty good.
Are you pretty
but
good
I
at it?
gotta-
Yeah?
I gotta
Those look
try it.
calloused.
Yeah, don't worry about these old things. They've been working the garden pretty good.
Yeah, we heard.
I don't. Do your
Quite
audience is
learner,
what snobby beer drinker idiots?
No, it's mostly debaucherous brewers.
Oh, okay. Are they into beer games? I feel like that's such a crude way to drink.
I think we've got a party crowd, but
Everybody's played them. Who hasn't played them?
but most people are just like down
The
to
snobs.
drink. Yeah, it's not really a snobby podcast. I think a lot of the people that we attract are just people they
Yeah,
like
the
craft
snobby-
beer, but they don't really like.
The
they
snobby
don't geek
people
out
are
on
all
it.
too busy posting pictures of their own beers in Denver or
Yeah.
Colorado. Let's talk
Look at how
about
it
beer.
poured this-
When we were in school, one of my favorite things was that we would play pranks with the Binghamton rugby team. I played in Buffalo, and whenever we would visit them, we would play a prank on their house.
Time
Whenever
out,
they would
time
visit
out.
us,
This sounds like a YA novel.
maybe
Yeah, this is something out of nonfiction. Fiction. Which one?
I'll go on.
Okay.
So I remember one time they.
Is Chad dead?
Yeah, I think Chad.
Did Chad die?
This is So, by the way, this is the Crooked Stave episode without Chad. Hey.
No, it's in his email. He'll get back to you.
So, One time they actually
That's my auto reply.
Do they not have beer here?
We didn't make it.
nothing good anyway.
Make it.
Yeah, it's all empty cans. There's nothing actually in there.
I hand canned this. Hand brewed, hand canned.
Hand canned.
Handmade.
Why don't you have that on your label? Hand canned by immigrant children.
So I'm gonna recap. I'm gonna end the
That's
story pretty
actually
quick, and then we're gonna
fine.
move back to the chug. So they would.
This is Binghamton
versus
and
Buffalo. When
rugby.
they came to our place and partied at our house later, they put all of our toilet paper in the shower at one point. We had a huge stockpile, and they
Man,
turned
that
the
shit's
shower
worth
on.
gold in
That was,
2020.
I know. And that was so they turned
Well,
that on. It
2021,
was just
that's
soaked.
Beanie Babies.
The year before, we had taken all the light bulbs out of their house. That was a lot of fun. And then my last year that we were there, we were at their rugby house. We partied all night, and they had a pool table in their living room. And we strategically hid all of their pool balls around their house, like an Easter egg hunt. And I would get text messages from those guys 6 to 8 months later where they would find a ball, like in a cereal box or in the back of the freezer.
Yeah. I loved pulling that. I was too. Man, the one of the 2 times I drank like the original Four Loko, I woke up in the morning at my friend's house and they're like, Steve, you hid all of the keys. All of my parents' keys around the house.
You wanted
I'm
to
like,
make sure everybody was being
I
safe.
don't know.
What happens at Four Loko stays in Four Loko. That's
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Isn't that they renamed a Caribbean island that?
Four Loko.
Four Loko.
Damn.
It's my favorite vacation spot.
What can you do there?
All
You
right.
won't remember. Don't worry.
Chad, do you feel
Get
better?
Four Loko.
Chad, do you
Four
feel better
Loko.
about your chugging potential right
Yeah,
now?
because that was.
And can you hand me
Can't do that.
one of those cans that has a little beer left in it? I'd like to try
Oh,
the
yeah.
beer that you're chugging.
His mouth was on it. Are you sure that's gonna be okay?
Yeah, I mean we're already.
Yeah, he already had COVID.
Yeah, I already had.
Oh, you can't get it twice.
I think I've got a 3-month window.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're safe.
Yeah,
Cool, cool.
Science has proved a lot of things.
So don't tell my wife I was in a room with somebody with COVID. Don't tell her I was drinking beer in January. Don't. I mean, I guess it's my own.
What did you
problem,
tell her
but
you
I
were
don't
going
seem
to
drink
do?
So have you seen Brandon Wheeler recently?
Yeah, I've seen Brandon.
Just calling out other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus.
Shout
I've
out
just
to
thrown
Brandon.
everybody under the bus right
Uh,
now. God damn it.
I've got some insight.
A little
information about
discretion,
him.
Chad.
Brandon works with my wife. We also went to high school with him. His dad was a pastor. He's a nice kid. He plays guitar.
I feel like there's a lot of
He
preface.
got COVID.
I think there's
From
a
my
Yeah,
friend
COVID.
who's an attorney.
Gotcha.
Very reputable person.
I
I'm
dropped-
not listing his name.
Yeah, I like attorneys.
Yeah,
But he got COVID.
Because he's my attorney.
He's an attorney.
I'm not gonna blow him up.
But that's what happens if you go to the Great Wolf Lodge in Kansas City.
Wait, they have one of those there
It's not
too.
a joke. That's what I said. I thought they were talking about the
Yeah,
Colorado
because
Springs
everybody
one.
knows COVID loves water slides.
Does everybody
That's-
know Great Wolf Lodge? It's an indoor water park at a
Gary
hotel.
Metz does.
I've
I
never
went
been
there
there.
last year.
He probably got COVID
I
too.
bet he did.
But
It's
at least
a
not Ted, so
big
he's
swingers
alive.
conventions.
He's
It's
the
a
only
Great
one
Wolf
who
Lodge.
gained weight from COVID.
I went to Disneyland like a few days before they shut down, and I am pretty positive that I got it there. Like this was last year, a year ago.
Pretty
But it's like-
positive.
Pretty and positive.
Let me do the jokes.
Yeah,
okay?
leave Well, no, we're gonna leave it up to
Handle
Chad.
Yeah.
All right,
I still-
Chad.
I
Hey,
still don't have a joke that I can say on
hey,
air.
you've been gone long
You
enough.
can.
We
This
need you
is
to get down to the
this
chug.
fucking shit is stupid. Nobody cares what
No.
bullshit.
I
Maslow
said
said
cunt,
cunt.
and I'll continue to say
Racism,
cunt as
sexism.
long as I
But
tell the
see-
story.
Oh yeah, don't say anything racist. We'll judge
Yeah,
you.
well, I wouldn't say anything racist,
Yeah.
but like sexist is racist too.
Towards who? Just kidding.
They're equal in 2020.
Everybody.
You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
joke around it.
Well,
That's
but
why
you
I
can say
give
like bad
That's
words.
why-
You can say naughty words on here.
Sexism goes.
Yeah,
both
see,
See,
that's
ways.
that's
why-
why,
don't
that's
like
why
spice
cunt's, that's why that cunt's okay.
Steve's a real naughty guy.
Yeah.
Real naughty boy.
Well, you tell. Do you
See,
have?
I know the problem is I know jokes about like female rap guides and stuff.
That's fun.
Oh, some river rats? You want to throw some river rat jokes
Yeah.
on the show? Go
Corey's
ahead.
wearing a hat like he's been
No,
on
'cause
the
it's sexist.
pooter for a long time.
Yeah,
Sexist.
just got off the pooch.
It's not
Just
my
to do
joke. I
this
didn't come up with
podcast.
it. Someone else told me it. Just saying. I heard
Only
once,
if you
it doesn't
say it's
make
Aaron
me bad.
Maslow's joke.
That's
Then it's
okay.
good.
And actually very uncomedian-like of you to credit somebody else for the joke you're about to tell.
It's like you haven't been doing this very long at all.
Aaron steals all of his material from Carlos Mencia.
I.
And Ted, because Ted's dead.
Ted is a great writer.
I think it's Carlo Mencia.
Was.
Is it Carlo or Carlos?
Carlos.
Yeah.
He just wants to get better at squatting.
Carla Mencita.
Carlo Menciata. It's an Italian knockoff of Carlos Mencia.
Like Carlo Rossi.
Yes. Chad, you're chugging the
It's there.
petito.
It's there.
You can
Patito,
tell.
what's
Tell me a
patito
joke
mean?
your kids say.
Little duck in Spanish.
Love it. That's what people call you.
It means
Little
cute.
duck.
Little cute patito.
Like when you take your pants off,
Mi
people
pa-
go,
mi
"Oh, that's
patito.
adorable.
That's a cute little patito."
That's a little cute patito."
yeah, yeah, small patito.
For
Did
all
you know
those female
Spanish
listeners.
before Colombia?
What's Colombia?
place.
I think it's an outerwear brand.
Where did you live?
All right,
in
but-
Oregon.
Yeah.
I did live there.
Yeah.
Not in Oregon.
You feel better about your prospects now that you have a full pint glass?
No, I
instead of
chose the
just can?
dumbest beer in the world. Now I gotta
I
drink
told
it
you.
twice.
Why do you think I was so nervous? Not because these onlookers are so
That's why I
handsome
wanted
and
you- that's why I
tall,
wanted
but
you
because
to
that
go
beer
first.
was freaking juicy.
All right, homie.
We can
Whatever.
tell some salmon jokes. I
Oh,
should know
man.
a salmon joke.
You should.
Salmon slam.
Sam Slam, dude.
Get it?
No, I don't.
High five. We're killing it.
We're editing that
Yeah.
part out.
That's the best podcast joke of all time.
All right. Whenever you're ready, man.
Okay.
You should stand up, though.
You think so?
I think so.
You think the dynamics are faster?
Well, I think you'll
Yeah.
get more in your gut.
That's why singers stand
We
up.
found that the stand is better.
The beer maker doesn't understand.
I don't need to. I can just chug beer.
I could
I'm
sip
a
it
man.
all day.
So he's
Not from
usually
the
used to
can.
doing
That's
this
too easy.
without
Can you drink
An
at work
audience.
here? Is that allowed?
I want to say.
I mean, legally? No. Yeah, no, nobody's allowed to drink at work. Not even the boss.
Jesus,
Yeah.
what is this, North Carolina?
Everybody's on a dry January all the time here, Maslow.
And they get
this,
paid.
this is a dry site.
Yeah, I know.
Fortunately, this is unlicensed.
No
So what
more,
happens in here?
no more filibusters. Let's do this goddamn thing.
Stalin.
And if this bill goes
Aaron, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, ready.
He's
for
off
it.
to the
There
races.
we go.
Yeah, now he's in action. Boom!
Nice.
Yeah, he's got the
Well
nice chocolate
played.
milk mustache to go
unhinged
with it.
his jaw to get that in there.
Yeah, like
Damn,
a
dude.
real
That's what
boa
it felt like.
constrictor. He's got that python jaw.
Oh no, your nipples.
So
are
well
leaking.
defined. So bold.
That's a nice shirt, by the way.
I wore it for you
For our
today.
listening audience, it's nothing but mesh.
It's perfectly
Black-
see-through.
black
I can
mesh.
see both of your nipple piercings
Black
from here.
mesh.
That's great.
I see the
Never
milk
had the
coming
balls
right
to
out.
do it. Oh yeah, that's their little.
It's
Alright.
like
Pearl-
Chad, what do you got for a joke, man?
clasps.
I'm really shitty on the spot. I gotta say it.
We told you about this hours.
Actually, like a year ago, I believe.
Well, the joke part probably about an hour ago, and I literally said I was gonna Google something, and then I did, and I still didn't like any of them.
Yeah, you looked at Maslow's.
Wow,
stuff.
it's amazing.
Watching
Pretty
Maslow
crazy to
studying
shoot.
subtitles over there.
Pretty crazy to think about how you can't just Google how to be good at stand-up comedy.
No,
Wow,
you
this is
can
crazy.
Google it, but it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like Google Translate.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Google
Oh,
Translate,
do
make
a-
this funny.
Just say something in Spanish, like a Spanish
That'd be pretty tight
style
if you
joke.
could put in a premise on Google Translate and then it spit out a punchline.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty great.
That'd be awesome.
No, I wouldn't. I would never work.
Comedy is a language.
Really is. It's a soothsayer. What do you got?
This
What's-
is everything.
I'm thinking that I
Yeah,
think I just. It's better like.
I wasn't lying when I said we were
self-filibustering.
watching you getting ready to bomb. Like you were scrolling through your phone looking for shit. I
The
was like,
best
this is
part
what it
it's
feels
like,
like.
it's like on camera. So
Yeah.
it's great.
And you're gonna say something, and then there's gonna be that pause where you're like, "Are they gonna think it's funny?" This is the open mic process, my friend. This is how this actually works.
You have really blue eyes.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a very orange sweater.
Thank you.
I
Not stolen. I take full credit.
totally didn't just take this off the guy's back on the way in here. Can you pass me one of those, please?
Yes.
I'll do it. You do it.
Yeah, let me get.
Yeah.
Let me get
Joke.
mine out here too.
Joke, joke, joke. Yeah,
Woo!
baby.
Mouse tastes better. But the cow, mouse the cow.
It's very. I mean, if you're gonna chug a beer, that's a good one to do because it's not very bubbly.
Hey, for the sake of pacing, we need you to get to the joke.
It's a biscuit. What's the difference between? Oh, he threw me off. I already forgot.
You got this.
Yeah, really, I really don't have one. We're gonna have to cut.
What's the
No, you got
difference
it.
between?
No, I'm thinking. I actually really. I should have thought about this when I said it.
You were gone for an
I know,
hour and a
it's
half.
time.
You've had so much
2
time.
hours.
Do you know
Nice
why
way.
Aaron, Aaron,
I
Aaron.
want to get his wheels moving. You ready? Why can't you see a hippo hiding in a tree? Because he's so good at it.
Oh, yeah, let me get your wheels turning here. A bartender checked an ID, and they're like, "No, you can."
Yeah,
and
since-
there's a
since-
one.
Since I know we can't edit this out and stuff. Is it? I can just change things so it doesn't sound like one thing.
I mean, we can edit it,
Yeah.
but
So what's the difference? Wait, what's the difference between?
we likely won't. We can.
Do you have an editing process?
Yeah.
We know about it.
It's like when you're like, this won't be taped, right?
Totally. You know what the best part about podcasts
Do you want us to
are?
get back to it? We can talk about
that's
other
a
stuff.
jar. What's the difference between Aaron Maslow and a jar of pickles?
Oh man, I hate this one.
Classic bit.
What is the difference between a jar of pickles and Aaron Maslow?
Can't stick your fist in a jar of pickles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's a child, because then you can go both ways. Tiny wrists, little hands.
Not sexist.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What's the
See how easy that's the thing.
See?
That's the one thing though, where it is like you can change something little like that and make the joke like not be like super awful, or make it like funny
That
towards
sounds
one
good.
person. But,
Yeah.
like it's not. It doesn't have to.
It's still pretty
What's
awesome.
what's
Yeah.
the difference between?
Oh, now he's on a roll.
What's
Now
the
we can.
between-
Yeah. We can't even stop. Oh!
Now he's on a roll.
What's the difference between Aaron Maslow and say, I
We
don't
got a-
know, dead hookers? You
we got a
can't
whole new
finger
talent.
dead hookers. Yes, you can.
We got a whole new talent set happening before
I
our
will.
eyes.
I'm doing
But
it
I
now.
won't.
You're fingering me. I'm fingering them.
What's the difference between Aaron Maslow and a pizza?
I don't
No,
know.
that's not funny. I quit.
Say it.
I like pizza.
It's gonna be racist. Jewish racist.
It's gonna be Jewish racist.
Everything with
The
pizzas
pizza,
end
the
up.
pizza can feed its family.
That's true, man. Golly, that
Works.
one's.
That one's that
All
one's.
right,
that
hey,
one's-
let's do a little
that's a
recap
lot.
on the
That one
time.
didn't
Yeah.
work. That one didn't work.
That's okay. That's how it goes.
Maslow, you came in.
Just around.
Your total time overall was 7.74 seconds. With 3 seconds up, that gives you 4.74 seconds.
That didn't feel like 7.5 seconds.
It sure did. From the other end, and from the timer.
Well, that's cool. 4 seconds.
That will.
It's a very difficult beer to chug.
It is. Unfortunately,
I
that's
think you should go 5%.
It's not the leaderboard.
5 seconds.
I
It's not the
think
leaderboard.
Well, I
And
can't change the rules now. Not the middle of the season.
It's what they did with.
it's pretty
election
good.
this
We're 85 chugs in at this point.
We're in the playoffs now. We're in the playoffs of the election season, and it's not looking good.
They were about to announce the winner, and then there was a coup.
Yeah, they're like, I was listening to NPR, and they're like,
Not my winner.
yeah,
Bish, bish, bish.
they were talking to a senator from, I don't know, Oregon maybe, and he was like, well, it was one of the most healthy debates we've ever had. I'm like, bullshit. You're dumb.
When they were yelling at each other? on
Yeah,
TV?
like right before the coup, they were like, one of the more healthy debates we've had on the floor this year.
Of 2021.
Sounds like
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
that's
it
what
was.
it's- It started 2 days ago.
You know, the senator's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're not even supposed to be here right now. This is fucking Christmas vacation.
Chad,
Freaking out.
Still here.
would you like to
Lost.
know your time after the
Lost.
second try?
Yeah.
Second try.
Asterisk.
I bet that first try was actually decent.
No, it
She
was
finished
bad.
it.
It was bad. What'd you finish on? How much did you get through on that first chug?
About
Like,
50%.
Yeah.
About.
So
yeah.
double that.
So you would have been in like 11 and a half seconds.
Yeah.
Going
It's,
through the
it's
can.
physics. It's physics.
Exactly.
All I can say is
Which is
physics.
why I was like, you don't want
Listen,
to
I ain't
shotgun
no
it.
wizard. I don't know physics, but
Have you seen people
I-
chug
I
out of a
do.
bottle where they put a straw, like a bendy straw in
oh
there?
yeah,
and
I've
it
seen
just-
that.
Yeah.
Gives it a little
That's
snorkel.
physics, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
What do we got for a time?
Overall
You didn't go to
time
school.
for Chad was 4.42 seconds. Take 3 seconds off, that puts him at 1.42 seconds, putting him in 5th
Fuck
place.
yeah, buddy! Crack the top
Overall
5.
leaderboard.
That's really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
It only took an hour and a half to second yourself up.
Yeah,
Like,
Jesus
you did
Christ,
it.
that was the longest, literally the longest chug ever. I think we started that at the 15-minute mark and we're an hour.
When he
So-
left to get another beer, he put Eminem in his iPod and played that just to get pumped up.
Yeah, lose yourself in the moment, the music.
Mom,
whatever the
spaghetti. It's
Yeah.
the only word I know.
Keep them ready.
Alright, so before we move on from the chug itself, what's the deal with this beer? How is it different than, because you have like a Mexican chocolate Mexican cake beer out there as well, right?
No
Why do you say
cake,
cake
but
beer?
Yeah,
but
what's-
still beer.
What's the difference between this and that? Because it seems like the additives that you're using are similar.
Yeah. The biggest difference is we take a small portion of this, double adjunct it, and that's not true actually. That one's not double adjuncted.
Those chugs are catching up to you.
I'll just chug one
big-
more just to be safe.
It's not. The big difference is not much actually. What
Okay.
we do is we
Just
take
curious.
this. The idea is to make like a blended stout.
Mhm.
So we've got bourbon barrel age. Some of the barrels are like 4 years old, which is ridiculously old. There's
Yeah.
no reason to ever do that, but we did it. And so we're blending that in. So we're kind of
Charge.
blending down
It
some
sounded
of
like
those
a
flavors.
shark with your mouth. I felt like I heard liquid come up with it.
It's mostly liquid.
Yeah, it's
I
mostly
just got it
liquid.
back down.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's actually Indian food.
You had that right before you
I'm
came.
interested.
All vegetarian.
Nice.
Are you a vegetarian?
Actually, I'm vegan.
Maslow.
No, I eat mostly plant-based and love meat.
Yeah. I think that's most vegetarians. Is
Dude,
that
I
they
hug
eat
my
mostly
dogs
plant-based,
every
but
day.
they still love meat.
Yeah.
They just don't eat it.
No, it's healthy for you.
So,
It's really healthy.
so what's the motivation behind canning this as opposed to the bottles of like the Mexican?
Yeah,
hot
so
chocolate
we
or Mexican
love
cake?
being able to play around with the bourbon barrels. So this was like a wide range release, so we can be able to get this out throughout Colorado, to some of the other states that we are typically shipping Crooked Stave to.
Sure.
That one, however, is a taproom only kind of release, basically.
Tight.
And so what we did with it was taking some of the bourbon barrels, blending that in, and therefore just because of the bourbon barrels and because of kind of like where it takes that beer, it's kind of more enjoyed from a bottle. It's something that you might cellar for a while, whereas this is definitely meant to chug multiple times during like a
Like a
podcast.
line.
or anything.
Please put that
But
in
like,
the marketing.
you know, if you think
Chuggable,
that, if you
dude.
think
For all
chugging
your
a can
podcast needs.
was hard, you know, the bottle's twice as hard. So don't chug the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Sip it near a fire. Don't catch on fire, but sip it near a fire.
So on the label, we've
I'm gonna
got
catch
all
on
these.
fire.
We've got all these ducks that are on the label.
How often do you
Um,
guys chug during this?
Occasionally.
Okay.
Let's
One
talk
thing I
about-
do
let's
want
talk
to
about
talk
the
about
ducks.
really quick
Let's talk
though.
about the ducks.
I want to talk about the ducks because you
Ducks.
brought all the ducks, so I feel like it would be worth mentioning. So the label has tons of ducks on it. We have lots of ducks on the
They're my
table.
spirit animal.
Yeah, what's the deal with the ducks? Give us a little insight.
Can I tell you what I think it is? This time you went to Nashville and you took this lift ride, and it was an old fat guy who kind of looked like Santa, but he wasn't because he smelled weird. But he had a bunch of ducks to give away in his minivan, and so you took a few, which happened.
Is this real? Is this like
No,
some
that was
insider
Maslow's
information?
guess.
That literally happened to me, but you
That's
go ahead.
that's like almost like if you took a couple of
Yeah, like, it
Uber
wasn't
lift stories from a couple of different
Nashville.
cities.
It was
no, there's like
Memphis.
Savannah, Georgia, but then there is like that one time in Nashville, and then
No, so this legitimately did
So
happen.
this is not.
so it didn't.
Everybody's got a
there's
story
surreal.
about an Uber and a rubber duck.
I mean, there's always
I think
handouts in
they're
an
probably
Uber.
lifts. Ubers are like more legit, whereas Lyft you never know what hippie and a weird.
Whoa.
Those guys are crazy.
Whoa.
Taking a stand.
I disagree with you politically completely.
Politically.
We have different political opinions on the Uber Lyft debate.
Yeah, Ubers are for Republicans.
Lift
Lyft,
team.
baby.
Everybody that stormed the Capitol today took an Uber to get there.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably an Uber XL even.
Do you guys need chargers for your phones? Maybe you need something.
I think it was
do you want to put your
share. I
handgun
think it was
somewhere?
Uber share.
For sure. They
They
took
did
mine
an Uber
scooters.
share.
You mean Uber communists?
So they busted the windows. Let's throw in scooters.
Do you
Jesus.
want to continue your story?
Yeah,
there-
tell us about the ducks.
So the ducks, it's surreal. So like I can't explain it.
Is this just an acid
It
trip
was a
come to
wild
life?
ride,
We
man.
need to, yeah. So it starts with Salvador Dali,
Sure.
which is pretty influential in most of our labels. No joking. And if you watch the first couple of minutes of L'Age d'Or, it's this black and white with these scorpions and the six serrated tails. If you have to ask, I mean, it's real. So I can't.
It's like
explain
most
it
of
to you.
Aaron's punchlines. You have to ask the question.
So you're like a surreal comedian.
Right.
Just
Yeah, how do you
abstract.
describe your
Yeah.
comedy? Surreal.
So modern day surrealism involves a cute, cuddly rubber ducky that you're usually naked in a bath with.
Oh, I'm just picturing it right now.
Surreal.
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm there.
And I'm thinking of little patitos.
Let's go do that.
Because I got two little boys. They're pretty small.
They're sweet boys.
Let's
Yeah,
go do that
they're
in the
sweet.
cool. Let's go do that in the cool ship right now. Let's just go hang out. Put some rubber ducks in there.
It's been a long time since
Take
that's
some
been
a-
done.
Take some acid.
That would be fun. That'd be fun.
And just talk about the universe for a little while.
Dude, the universe is really could keep you occupied
It's
for a
kinda
long
big.
time. A lot of stuff to talk
We
about.
put Stephen Hawking's on.
Oh, you recording. Hello, I am.
Are you
Yes, this is now a rotating tab.
Ted's
Space
dead.
and comedy podcast.
He was
Not-
Ted guy. That's
The Ron Dawson.
Do you feel bad for his
space
wife?
On rotating tab.
No,
Do you
because
have
she
one?
gets that widow money. Get that sick life insurance, bro. That's the miracle
It's
of COVID. Dude.
Well, actually, one thing I do want to talk about is what you just pulled out from behind the Bronco Veil, which is your 10-year fucking anniversary Vienna lager, man. That's exciting for a lot of different reasons, including the label, which do you want to tell us about?
I do. That was way too enthusiastic. It sounded lame.
Also, before you get into that, can you just explain the beauty of your paper beer can holders? What a great idea. I know patent is pending, but all of your holders have this paper.
Compostable.
Instead of
what I like to do.
plastic.
Other people grow plants. I like to grow soil. You could also call it making
Can't
soil.
grow plants without soil.
But you grow the best plants in the best soil.
Can't bada bing without a boom, you know?
That's one of the things, like,
That's why
you can
Can't
tell.
yang without a
You can see
yang.
how...
Can't ying without a link.
Sorry, I just had to make a
Are
yang.
you guys done now?
We can go on about how Aaron's wrong about raised beds. And the best part is that Google and any other internet search engine, just in case you don't like Google...
I like to Bing.
Well, Aaron also...
Yeah, that's why you couldn't find a joke to use
Probably
Bing,
do
dude.
Bing will get
Did you
you
just
some
ask-
You can TikTok this, probably.
Did you just
Right.
ask
Ah,
Jesus?
There's no reason.
I gotta
Use
go.
raised
I'm
beds.
taking my ducks and I'm taking some of these glasses and these beers and I gotta go.
Listen, we can't trust anything
This is-
Aaron says
this is
about what he
how-
found on Google. He doesn't vaccinate his children.
This
So
is
we
how-
can't...
Oh my god, you're
does it.
anti-vaxxer?
No, I'm pro. I double vax. We vax to the max.
Dude, that's like putting two condoms on at the same time.
No, we do. We put condoms on the kids and then we double vax. Vax to the max. That's what we do.
From the top or from the bottom up?
Both sides.
Shit.
We
wasn't-
vax them
I-
from the forehead.
There, you know, the great, like, one of the really fun conspiracy things of COVID that was never talked about, so it's just me and I'm a fucking idiot, is, like, anti-vaccination, like, anti-vaxxers were at an all-time high. All-time high. I was hearing about it everywhere. Multiple states were about to put, like, mandatory vaccination. New York already has it. You can't get a driver's license in New York unless you get vaccinated. So all these people going nuts about anti-vaccination. And then what happens? COVID. Right. I didn't hear a fucking thing afterwards. Everyone shut the fuck up. And it was like,
Radio
oh,
silence.
my
It was like out of sight, out of
vaccine.
mind, right? It was like polio. What the fuck is that? We don't need
Exactly.
a vaccine.
You don't
for
need a
this.
vaccine for that.
It
Oh,
doesn't-
coronavirus.
Well, you're living through it, so it's more real.
It's
And
interesting to
people are
think
more willing.
about the manpower that went behind creating the vaccine so quickly, and a lot of people get in an argument of like, why haven't they cured AIDS or cancer? And then all of a sudden,
No, but seriously, why have they?
because it's ever-changing, sexy disease.
That sounds like government
No,
bullshit.
I honestly, I don't know. I don't know, but it's an interesting question.
Don't ask questions you can't answer.
I didn't even ask a question. I just posed a question.
Tell us about this Vienna lager.
So it's the 10-year anniversary.
Congrats,
and
by the
on
way.
your,
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. On your 10-year, you know, like relationships, depending on how good you are at them or not, have
Are
different,
you
like,
revisiting an old style right now because you just
that's
remember
right.
the good times with Vienna
Remember
lager?
you know, actually, one of my favorite quotes that I read recently was, there's no cure for the good time. There's no good
You were
for
gonna
the
say
good
for
times.
cancer.
Do we have to bank?
There's no good cure for cancer. That is
Like a
correct.
bad memory.
Cancer. What was the quote?
Dumpster
Ernest
fire.
Wait,
Hemingway?
there's no
So-
cure
so-
for good times like a bad memory?
Yes.
That's a horrible quote. Is that a Salvador Dali? Or is that...
I believe it's an Aaron Maslow.
Hey.
You just said it.
No, an Aaron Maslow quote is, "I hit my son with a shovel."
After he shit his pants.
He shit on his pants, literally on them. And then I had to get the shovel.
That's when you get the
that is
shovel.
but that is the ultimate, like, dad joke, because if you're a parent, you can't stop laughing. And then you think about, like,
Yeah, it was
how can I hit
Yeah.
him with a shovel?
I was laughing the
How
whole
do I
time.
work that into my day?
I was beating him. So it's
Dumpster
10-year.
fires,
It's
dumpster
a
fires.
10-year
So
anniversary.
10-year anniversary, the very special metal item for 10-year anniversary is tin. So we put this in a tin can.
Oh, that's why.
No lid.
Nice, yeah.
Is
And we had fun
And
with
the
it.
ball started doing tin cans.
Tin,
Lines like
aluminum,
shit.
same difference.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm getting real drunk.
And so
Is
we
it-
I'm
did
telling
that.
your wife. I'm
We-
telling
no,
your
no,
wife.
No,
There's a reason
everybody,
why
it's
no.
February
He's
what?
drunk on-
It's February what?
February
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, it's
9.
February 20th.
We'll
guys.
release this in 3 weeks so that you can hide from your wife.
February 2020.
And tin and
just
aluminum.
before COVID.
Tin and aluminum are the
I
same
knew
thing.
it was coming. Tin and
Everybody,
aluminum are the
everybody
same,
knows.
same thing.
The
Yeah.
aluminum man from the Wizard of Oz.
Maybe it's tin. Maybe it's tin slash aluminum.
Dude, think how fast he could run.
He's the aluminum man.
He could hit
So it actually
softballs
doesn't
like
make
that.
sense that he's so janky.
Well, I don't know why he's oily. I don't know why he's oily. Graphite.
So
I fell
it's in
asleep during that play.
What play?
True story.
True story. Isn't that I don't know what that is.
The Wizard of Oz?
That's what it's called?
No.
I thought it was called True
Why
True
did you
Story. It's True Blood.
Why'd you do a Vienna lager for your tenure?
What?
So it's a running joke,
That
not a
goes for
joke,
sour
of how
boy.
much I love lager. So we sit in this room where we're sitting now when we have our production marketing meetings, and we sit there and we throw out brilliant ideas about beers. And mine's somewhere between Ogallala Lager,
Great idea.
Ogallala Lager,
If
Vienna
only Ted
Lager.
were alive to hear it.
Von Pilsner Lager,
Great
and other lagers.
Rest in peace, Ted.
R.I.P.T.E.D.
Call that Ted.
Give or take. He was okay. And so a Vienna lager, to me, it just sounded like, what was better than tin? Vienna tin.
Mm-hmm.
So we went with the Vienna lager.
Nice.
It's a style we've been wanting to explore for a little while.
It's unfiltered.
It's really
yeah.
good.
I mean,
It is.
Can't fucking see through the thing, which is uncharacteristic. I mean, you normally wouldn't associate
No,
with
no,
lagers.
no.
Are most of the lagers that you do hazy?
Yeah, because hazy beer is the best.
That's what people want.
So everything is hazy.
So is everything
But we're
you
the
do
original-
Keller, if you will?
We're original hazy brewery.
Why? Because you did the Keller pills?
No, because we're older than all of the other
Because
breweries.
you've been doing it.
Because
Because
in 10 years? Yeah. 10
But
Because,
still operating.
because 12 years ago,
I was gonna say, I think the
one who
Alchemist
said-
might have something to say about that.
Those are really good friends, and they should.
Yeah, the Kimmichins
Because
are good
they-
people.
But at least someone actually knows. Oh man, the other friends who are credited with this,
Ted.
with making
Mhm.
hazy beers, are gonna be upset. But yeah, I mean, like
They
no
go
one.
upset.
It's really crazy that no one really knows where that came from. You have, John Kimmich from
Yeah.
The Alchemist, and you have John Hill at Hill Farmstead, and you really have beers that they were brewing even before they started those breweries using that yeast and making these these unfiltered beers, which are not the muddy water beers that
Yeah.
we now have today. And that's like totally brushed under the rug for like breweries that were influenced by them. It's really crazy. Like
The style
history
essentially
is
got
literally-
hijacked too,
Totally.
because
Yeah.
what they make is nothing like what most breweries consider to be a hazy IPA.
No, they make
And-
really high quality, like well made, like
Well, they're still bitter.
lightly
They still
unfiltered.
have like West Coasty kind of flavors, even though they have haze
And-
to
and they
them.
run-
It's because
run the
it's a
gamut
filter,
for it.
right? Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not this
And
super
it-
plush,
it's-
super like mango flavor.
No,
That's
not what kind of
that's
started
not it
to
at
come
all,
afterwards
right?
and stuff.
So the style kind of got hijacked by a lot of other breweries, and it just turned into this sweet, goopy kind of mess.
It's an interesting amalgamation of kind of what's happened.
Yeah, for sure. So when you brew a style or something like Juicy West, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to achieve when you're doing that?
Juicy West is a really fun one. It's like I talk about this pendulum as it swings kind of back and forth, and for the longest time, West Coast is king type
Right.
thing. Like these really bitter, aromatic hop forward. I mean, they were progressive beers of those times.
Sure.
Life changes, we
Right.
continue to go on. That pendulum swung so far from like I would consider like what like Sean at Hill Farmstead and the original hazy IPAs were to be like middle ground compared to where it went. It swung
Yeah.
so far, and as it kind of swung back, you had West Coast producers like loving it. As you're tasting these flavors, like there are really positive things to be able to pull from it. So we actually call this a new West Coast style, which basically to us
Hitting
the
all
difference.
the Google keywords. Yeah.
SEO search
That's
engine,
yeah.
I think it's like UX now. SEO's dead. Like Ted.
Yeah.
I can't believe Ted.
SEO, Ted, all three letter words.
What?
Yeah.
Was
2021 was
Did
rough.
Ted go to Bear Creek?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
He was
yeah?
Yeah.
Hi.
He's
It's
my friend.
Bear
Your
Creek.
age. He's my guy. We were roommates in college.
But okay, so you're essentially trying to achieve. Is the hop profile supposed to be more West Coast because it's a hazy beer, right? Or is it?
Yeah.
is it-
So the
is it
fun
clear?
thing is it's not. It's pulling together. It's a compilation.
Okay.
It really is. So in brewing, we tend to kind of think of like the West Coast beers being brewed with Chico ale yeast. Chico ale yeast is probably like Valentine, old school. No one cares what I'm saying right now. But more important is that Chico ties to...
The fact that we haven't talked...
You're wearing Broncos stuff.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Go Bears. No, we care about about this.
So it's really neat. Like, one of the most amazing breweries, and someone like, who I consider the forefathers of what we did, someone I'm really fortunate to know and to love the groundwork that they laid, is Sierra Nevada. Sierra Nevada, Chico, California.
Yeah.
So that yeast
Corey's
that
familiar.
has come from it. I was like, gonna make a joke. I don't know. Chico ale yeast. So it's really prolific, that kind of yeast and that yeast profile for these beers from the West Coast. That's the story. East Coast is this yeast that is much more English.
Wait,
this is great. I barely said anything about brettanomyces.
I have a very good question about hazy beer. Yep.
We will. And Chuck.
So
is that how this works?
You finished the thought about East Coast beer, and I want to ask you a question.
East Coast is East Coast,
baby.
So East Coast beers.
You got these dominant like West Coast Chico profile, typically clear, and then the East Coast kind of went more towards that unfiltered. The thing for me was there was a huge swing at one point where there was West Coast was really dominant, and the big thing was everybody was over 100 IBUs on everything they were releasing.
It was a muscle flexing contest.
Yeah, super muscle flexing. And then All Day came around. And then when All Day happened, it changed the industry for everybody.
Walk me through All Day, because I don't know what that is.
So Founders All Day.
I'm gonna have to be a Bell's homer here.
But what I will say,
have to mention that some of those. Oh wait, no, I got insider information. Never mind.
That's fine, and you can share it. But
just say Bell's was first.
No, because the SEC would be all over this place.
Yeah,
is
the Southeast,
the
Southeast Conference would be all over this.
The Alabama
the Crimson Tide would be all over this.
The Tide would roll all over this. Okay.
Have I been watching Wolf of Wall Street? Is that not correct?
No, so there was an industry shift a few years ago when Founders Brewing came out with All Day IPA, and it was the first real session IPA, the way that people categorize it, that came out on the market.
Gotcha.
And it blew up. At one point in time, it was, I think,
it was a Bell's clone.
It was a top 3.
They cloned a Bell's recipe.
I don't doubt it, but it was a top 3 IPA SKU in the country. Okay, so it skyrocketed to success, and then everybody else tried to follow suit and make session IPAs, but nothing ever really was as successful as All Day. Nothing ever touched it.
You know what was pretty close though? Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Yeah, but that was before, and it was never labeled that way.
When are we talking about? It's just like early 2000s?
No, this was probably 7 years ago.
I was going to say 2013.
I want to say about 7 years ago.
Light
so then everybody...
The business is moving at
yeah, it's moving quickly.
Light speed.
So the industry was flooded with session IPAs, and there really wasn't anything that could even rival All Day. And then you saw this pendulum swing towards...
Well, that was a different league.
Did you have a session IPA that came out at the time?
No.
So then
have you guys ever done a session? You guys do any session ales at all?
Well,
yeah, for fun. What we haven't packaged is a beer called New Beer, New Me. All jazzercise, 3.5% IPA.
Sounds like something Maslow could get away with.
I pound those, bro. I beer bong those with the kids.
But then the pendulum swung, and then it went to hazy IPAs, and then that became like the focus, and it really fucking took off. Yeah. Right.
I do feel like the pendulum's coming back though from hazy IPAs.
Yeah, because so many people aren't good at making them, but people accept them because they're sweet and you can tolerate it.
There is a blind acceptance in the industry to hazy IPAs. Selfies.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing: is like I've been a huge fan of hazy IPAs. I love them. And there's times where I definitely
so many well-made ones.
There's so many well-made ones.
They all taste the same.
There's
so many well-made
if you fuck up a juicy like you're really fucking up. But
no, that's not true. I feel like it's super easy to fuck one up, but people don't know what good is that really like that category.
I don't know.
There's a lot of debate within it.
There's a lot.
And as a brewer, most brewers' take too is that any beer that has I'm trained to think any beer with a minute amount of haze is flawed instantly.
Sure.
So a tiny bit like this,
Yeah.
like European brewers even like, no, that couldn't be a Keller. A Keller should be super bright and clear and all those things.
Oh,
I like the
really?
accent.
Because I guess I
don't
was
know.
always under
Talking about there was no
So
accent.
Steve, I'm sorry.
No, it
Finish,
wasn't.
so finish your
This
thought
is
about like what you
nothing.
think hazies
That was
are
from when I
supposed
said
to
in
be.
Scotland.
I just-
It's real.
Not necessarily what they're supposed to be. I just think that hazies are also on their way out. Like, I've been a huge hazy fan, and just lately, I just like, even a really, really good hazy, I'm just like over, honestly. Like,
They all
Yeah,
taste the
they're-
fucking same.
it's
dude.
not that they taste the
really
same.
hard.
No, because like, even like,
It is hard to different. The flavors though are a lot closer, and that's what I like about like.
I don't think that's
Juicy
necessarily
West.
true though. Like, I
Juicy
think
West, you
I-
can diverge.
maybe
even more.
regionally, but like the hazy you gave me recently, that
Tastes like orange juice.
Unnamed.
no, absolutely not. It's a very
DVH Blue
different.
Moon.
Are these like pulp content of orange?
Basically.
Pineapple.
Can I ask?
But what did you think about? Because I gave Steve a collab from Other Half and Thin Man
Awesome.
recently when I was coming back from New York. I mean, so we.
It's definitely a hazy, but it's and I don't know if it's like the East Coast thing or the hop variants that they use, but it's very different from any hazy. Like hazies in Colorado, at least, tend to be like on the less hazy oriented and more juicy oriented.
Well, that's because Colorado brewers refuse to like accept terminology for the way that it is. Like nobody in Colorado wants to use the term New England. Everybody refuses to use that, but they.
Well, that's because of Tom Brady.
For the most
I
part.
guess, but
Exactly,
Yeah, all right.
yeah.
Who gives a shit about that?
these
Ugwear
Tampa
motherfucker.
Bay ales.
Go Bills. And but
But
they.
Cam Newton.
But what's
Remember
strange
the
is
Broncos fucked him up in the Super Bowl.
yeah, remember
That was
that?
amazing. And then we fucked him up this year too.
He's not good.
Yeah, no,
He's
it
not.
sucks.
I have a question though.
But one
Go
thing I wanted to
Bucks.
say.
Go
Corey
Bucks.
finish. Corey finish.
One thing I did want to say is that it's strange that Colorado brewers are not reluctant to use the term West Coast, but they are very reluctant to use New England.
Colorado wants to be a West Coast.
They want it so
We
bad.
want ocean. We want mountains and ocean. We want to be California.
Yeah.
Apparently, you are not from this state.
No, I'm not. I was
Yeah.
born here, but I
Must not
wasn't.
be.
Do you
Somebody
see
went
that?
to
Do you see that?
Chatfield.
I mean, do you notice that same thing where there's a reluctance to use the New England terminology, but there's not a reluctance to define things as West Coast?
Until recently, just to try to like be more clear about what we're offering.
Clear, easy, nice.
No pun intended.
It's the worst.
I am averse to saying like New England, but in a way, to me, it's out of respect for breweries from New England. Like, I'm not from New England. My brewery's in Colorado.
But you're West Coast.
Are there
Or you're not
But
West
I'm not
Coast.
West
You're
Coast.
not West Coast. But, you
But the
use West-
weirdest thing, and that's called New West Coast, where as soon as the San Andreas Fault just drops California
It's,
on,
uh,
we're gonna have Arizona Bay.
God.
Colorado's gonna be damn close to the coast.
we have a
It's
cold
gonna
front moving over
Dude.
the Middle East.
Do you have a close to the coast ale or something like that?
be- in Michigan, there's Third Coast, Midcoast, whatever. They have-
Aaron, I know you had a question about.
Oh my god, that's such a
hazies,
good
right?
question. Yeah.
Yeah,
but you didn't remember it.
First of all, great conversation, guys. I'm really enjoying
Thank
this. Learning a lot. Are there two questions? First, are there technical definitions for items like this, like
Yes.
West Coast? So you
No.
you could say New England
Yeah, no.
style,
And somebody would know what you're talking about.
and that would. But
Yes.
is that a technical? Is that a recipe?
The BJCP certified
Doesn't
style
mean
is hazy.
Oh,
right?
damn.
Just kidding. We got Braves to work.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
hazy,
sure.
right? Like, isn't the BJCP like definition hazy? It's not
I think
New
this.
England.
I would say that the style is young enough that you can't really define it. When it moves between trend
It's so
to
cool, Dad. You don't even
styles to
understand
things like that.
That's
So
bullshit though,
when you-
because the
when you
West
put it
Coast thing
inside a
didn't last
box.
that long. I mean, we're only talking since the late '80s. It wasn't like it was this thing that's been around for a century.
which is, that is modern craft beer. The 80s, that's like older than 95% of any beer that you can get
Sure.
in this country.
What
So, I mean,
was,
like,
it's just
like
so
Dale,
fast-paced
was
now.
Dale's Pale Ale
No,
an
Dale's wasn't even-
originator?
That comes like 15 years later.
In
Dale's is
like
like
2000.
the 2000s.
We're talking like Anchor,
Yeah.
Valentine,
Sierra Nevada. You're talking that's
Sierra
like
Nevada's
the 80s
there.
is first wave.
Yeah.
Most of the breweries from
Always
the 80s
is.
do not exist.
Dude, I just got into the Talking Heads, and I gotta say,
yeah.
here's my second question. So in
But I love
like
the
major
Talking Heads.
commercial, not commercial, but like I don't know, what do you
What
call
was your
like?
first question?
Yeah, this is coming up.
Okay.
Let me preface it with a 12-minute intro.
This is how he sets up a joke too.
Yeah, this is Aaron's stand-up, all premise.
Don't worry, I'll be explaining it later.
So wait, we still never.
No, that's what I'm saying. I do want to get back to this
Yeah,
eventually.
we'll get
I
back to
gotta
it,
know.
but when you're talking about filtration, why is it like such a
No one's
commercial?
talking about filtration here.
Or, I'm sorry, haziness. What are you
But why is it a commercial what?
You know what? I gotta go. My wife is expecting.
He ran out for toilet
Why-
paper 2
why
hours
is-
ago.
why
You
is-
drink milk.
Yeah, and I'm not feeling great. Also. Why is filtration such a popular marketing device for mainstream beer, like a Coors Light or something else? It's
Well,
filtered.
that's
I mean,
actually-
those are
it's
two very
filtered.
different
That's a
things.
funny. Yeah, but
But you're
that's an
leaving
interesting
that
question.
in, right?
Well, yeah,
Isn't that
I
what
mean,
a haze is? It's just
because you
stuff.
you just push people towards one thing that they can rally behind. Like people are simple enough where you can say this is
I'm listening.
cold brewed. They don't really even need to know what that means.
Yeah, but when you're like
It just sounds- it sounds-
cold
Yeah, but-
filter.
But that's like the same
I-
thing as hazy.
If you want to,
Like,
if you want to really geek out, like something that is cool on the filtration, does that knock the mic? On like the filtration side between like large breweries, I actually find it really impressive that Coors does not pasteurize their like Coors product, like Coors Light and
Really?
no,
They don't flash
it's
pasteurize
sterile.
it? That's
No,
pretty
it's
surprising.
sterile filter, which is amazing
Yeah.
to be able to do it through sterile filtration and not use pasteurization, because pasteurization is a very well accepted process used by many large brewers. and
For
that's
shelf
neat.
stability.
Yeah, I think it's neat. And so coming from like the realm of where I came from, I'm really trained to work for Coors or Budweiser or a brewery like that. That was what my background was. And so we're completely like immersed in that world, and that's where we're taught. Like we're taught to think about like 1 year of shelf life. A beer should look the day you brew it. It should look a year later the same if you were
Right.
to open a
Yeah.
warm sword can on the shelf. Like, and we're taught how to make beer like that.
I remember.
So it's a revolution in a way. It's like punk and anarchy almost.
So what
And so
is
that
a-
is
what
where
is
like
a-
I remember
what is a
Ken-
craft beer on the
beers
shelf?
like
What
I
does
remember
this look
Ken
like?
Grossman at one
for the
point
last
said,
2 years.
This will last 2 years.
Yeah.
Will it taste as
Yeah,
good
what-
in 2 years?
It'll
Is
taste better. What they missed was if you leave a little bit of yeast and you condition it, it can last twice as long.
So the
and keeps
haze
lagering at the same time.
actually-
Yeah, they
well,
got it
that,
all.
has,
they
that
got it
doesn't
all
have as
wrong.
much to do with the haze, right? Like that's the yeast.
Yeah, but think all the stuff that the shipping costs from
Well-
added with
Well, I
it.
think too with the haze, like marketing is like
Micromilligrams.
people want like a light beer also, like that's the most marketed beers. Even like a Budweiser or a Coors is still like a light beer, like original, like a banquet.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still like a light beer in terms of it's not a Coors Light, but people still want those lighter beers, and I
Yeah.
think that anything hazy adds on to. Like it takes away from the lightness, and people are
It
just
does.
not,
Well, it
not
it
in love
is.
with that.
flavor,
It does.
and a lot
And-
of times people are used to drinking those, filtered light beers, and they don't want that
Yeah.
hoppiness or the whatever the taste
Yeah.
experience
Haze
is.
essentially has become associated with like very approachable. Like it's sweet, it's gentle. The texture is typically very soft. It's
Are you
not.
explaining
It's like
me?
me.
I'm explaining you, even though you have a bigger beard than I've ever seen you.
Yeah,
have.
but it can come off
But
real quick.
just a quick
Definitely
note about the
shade
pasteurization
Sure.
thing. I remember talking to Ken Grossman when I was working at Sierra, and he had said that his holy grail is a beer that never ages. Right? Like, and they're always
Mhm.
trying to look for that.
Yeah.
And figure out how do we keep this thing from oxidizing for like ever.
And that's why
Oh.
for there's like no one ever thinks of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale or any of the other beers until a few, very recently as ever being hazy. But every Sierra Nevada beer has just a small amount of yeast
Right.
injected into it, so that there's like live conditioning.
But that's
and
the
that's
bottle,
like,
not
that's
the
one of the
kegs.
highest quality things that
There's
they're
a
able to do.
there's draft version and there's
Yeah.
bottle version.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things to do when I would go back to the brewery was to always get the keg conditioned pale ale.
And be able to
Because
taste it.
because if you do taste pale on draft versus bottles, they are different beers.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
the whole past.
And it's
just
a different
because.
package and everything.
Even
so you
can-
gotta
yeah,
do
cans
things
versus
a little
bottles
bit
are the
different.
same.
Well, just the second they do secondary fermentation in the bottles. Like they add yeast to the bottles. They do not do that to the
And that is
The
a
kegs?
great.
to the kegs.
They don't do that to
not-
the
They
kegs?
do not do that to the
It's
kegs.
Whoa!
It says it's a
That's-
different
I feel like
process.
that'd be easier to do to the kegs.
No.
I mean, in some ways, you can look at it kind of two ways. In some ways, it's easy just to do the whole thing. However, one thing that is also amazing and unique, this is going to be a whole segment about Sierra Nevada,
Cool.
how much we love them, is they're also using whole cone hops in bright tanks and stuff as well. I mean, not every style,
Well,
but
maybe
For the,
that's
no,
what
for the
brown
most part.
that up.
But here's
If
an
you're
interesting
enjoying
thing is
ground
that.
up, rolling paper.
So I'm
versus
assuming
like
that
torpedo versus
I'm
different
assuming you're bringing that up
processes.
because you think it's valuable. We were talking to Chris at Knotted Root, and he said that that's not valuable. He says that using the whole cones is kind of overrated, and that there's better ways to do it these days. How do you feel about that?
I feel that there are assumptions, and assumptions are made by people with less knowledge than people who understand science and research.
We have Chris
Okay.
here behind door number 1.
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
No,
You have
but
to
when
be-
we
you have to
were
be
on the show,
honest.
I kind of gave him a look too, where I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of coming from Ken Grossman, like somebody that I consider to be just the stalwart of like the American craft beer
Is
industry.
he the
You know, some
brewmaster at Sierra Nevada?
now I'm like, how to say this without
What's that?
being an
Is he the
asshole.
brewmaster at Sierra Nevada?
He was the original
and
brewmaster,
and he's the owner.
Oh,
And like knows I mean, to Ken's thing, like, man, the guy still knows like everything about everything.
Yeah.
He can sit down and employ starts saying, well, actually, this is what we do with that. Like,
Yeah.
that employee's like.
But so
responsible for the
you
process.
think that the whole cone?
No,
doesn't make a
I
difference, though?
don't think, because that would be making like
You know.
that opinion. I know for
Yeah.
a fact.
Using whole cone is better than pellets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I've also
don't you-
worked twofold. There's like academics and research and science, which means it's statistics. Oh, this is kind of like a joke, you know.
This is
That's how an open mic works. You kind of have a joke.
Statistics, right, is like a bikini. You know, you can show everything that you want, but it actually hides the good stuff, and that's what statistics is. So it's hard to always be like, well, science says, but then there's also like practical research knowledge, and then there's just like what's really, really obvious. And what's really obvious is that whole cones contain all the material. So pellets are called T90. T90 is because they're removing 10% of the product, so what you're getting is 90% of it. Ideally, that's intensified with like the different myrcene, comyrcene, different like humulones that you're getting in it. At the same time, it is processed, right? So that's like saying, I'm
100%.
sorry, but you know what? If you grind up this, red pepper, and you remove these products from it, it's actually has more aromatics and is better. And then you're like, yeah, but then there was the fresh pepper picked off the plant.
Yeah.
And it's really
Sure.
hard. Any farmer,
Yeah.
anybody who works with any sort of
Still
That
not
makes
getting the
sense.
essence of the thing.
knows for a fact that like the fresh product as it is whole is always going to be the most flavorful, the most
That's why I don't even break up my
that's-
weed. I just put a
that's
whole
all
nugget
done.
right in my bong.
No, but that's the thing though, that like there's now like the oils and stuff that you like with weed, because that's what I was thinking about. Is like if you want to
That's not
relate
fun.
it, like, there's dabs.
I love those, and I love using those products. I'm a big fan of extracts and all those different things. We don't get to play with them so much here at Cricket Stave. Our friends at our hop suppliers send it to us, and we use them in different ways.
Yeah.
So I love creating like unified notes and these different things. However, anyone who's ever worked with whole cone hops will always tell you, oh my god, what happens in especially the first 6 months from harvest on is unmatchable. We use whole cone hops here. The brewery I worked for before, Odell, one of the greatest breweries in Colorado
Right.
and nationwide, uses whole cone, and Ken Grossman. And guess what? I also see all of them in Yakima each year at Hop Selection, selecting hops. What was the brewery who you talked to? No, I know. It's short-term memory.
Which one?
The one who's.
Oh, it was Knotted Root. Knotted Root up in Netherlands.
You should ask him the last time.
Netherlands?
You should ask him the last time he went to Hop Selection and got to select his own hops.
You should ask him.
No, I didn't. Because
Get him on the phone right now.
No, but it's really I can't say how valuable it is.
I
to
think
be able
I
to
always
go out
thought it
there and
was
meet the
too, because I
growers
felt
and,
like I could always
rub
taste
those
it.
hops,
Yeah.
select them, and then it's not just that one year though. You have to keep selecting because what you rub doesn't translate to what the beer tastes like. You're not like I
Right.
remember rubbing that,
Yeah.
but it's like I can talk about it's like avalanches. And,
So many
digging, and
metaphors.
digging a pit.
Yeah.
No, but like if you keep doing the same thing year over year, you'll have that consistency. Just because you smell blueberries in this hop might mean it's actually oranges and dry hop. But if you keep selecting for the blueberry, you'll keep getting the oranges, type thing.
Sure.
And when you start talking about like whole cone hops, and being able to select that and know kind of like within reason that lot and where you're grabbing from it, like it's.
I've always
it's
felt that it was
uncomparable.
paramount,
It's
and
not.
I've
It's
found
one of the few things in this industry that's not marketing, not like.
I've
Whole
always
cone hops are legit.
I've always found that with pellets, it's easier to detect how old the hops
Yeah,
are
I mean,
when they
it's
actually brew
processed.
them.
It's like processed foods.
It's just
You can do it really
You'll
well,
have-
but it's processed.
Is there ever
Yeah.
an application for the pellets that is acceptable, or like would be?
I mean,
better
yeah, we
with-
use the pellets 99.9% of the time.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
more-
it's
they're
it's
more
more
convenient.
efficient.
Yeah,
It's
I think
more-
most people
more
don't like
cost
using
Yeah.
whole cone because it's so goddamn hard.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
really
yeah,
hard.
I figure
Yeah.
it's like it's so much more to work with, and you have to.
So
there's
much
How
more
big is
Most,
it? How
most
big is a
breweries
hop?
won't make the commitment to do it. It's a huge quality commitment.
Well, in that case, like the oils versus the pellets,
versus
like.
pellets?
It's like a petito.
Would you say there's a huge because obviously the whole cone to the pellets is a big transition.
Storage is different and all sorts
Yeah.
of
Oh
things.
yeah. I mean, huge difference there. But what about like with the oils? Because you do, I would say like percentage wise of like the space you save storage wise.
And also one thing
Oh,
that
yeah,
it's-
and
one thing that I
and
think is pretty
oils
impressive
stay for
and
years.
the advantage that we
Years.
have here in Colorado and in states where marijuana is legalized is that the two industries can combine in terms of know-how, technology, and when it comes to breaking these plants down because they are so similar that we were talking to Brandon from New Image about how they're working with different companies for hop terpenes, but the technology came from the marijuana industry. So we're actually pretty lucky here.
I think it's opposite.
You think it's the opposite? Or in
Hop
terms of
industry-
like,
Dude,
the hop industry has been doing this for like 30 years.
but breaking it
Longer
down
than
into
that,
like
too,
things
probably.
like that and
Yeah.
the rest?
I blew it again. Look at this pour.
Yeah.
This is the worst of the last bad one.
Not exactly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're not
Pour,
exactly
but
making
Steve
it.
should pour.
And for
No,
what
it
it's
is-
worth, Steve's trying to find a job right now as a bartender, and he's not pleading a very good
Boy,
case.
at least I'm aware when I blow it.
Oh, I know. It's
Well, I
because
guess I
this
just-
marijuana legalization and all this stuff that's
Yeah.
been going on has only been able to be on the scale, on the micro scale that marijuana legalization still is, and for all those like hops and terpenes and stuff, and what they're
Yeah.
doing, like the breeding and everything. You're talking about 10 years. Hops has been doing this for 30. I mean, you have some companies who've been using only extracts for over 30 years.
Uh-huh.
And hops, I mean, you can take those so
Really?
far. Oh yeah, yeah.
Using only an extract.
When you
Is
say
like, is
30
Russian
years,
River?
what are you
I thought that was
So
like
is
a
Russian
newer-
River like an extract brewery that's been doing it for like that long? Because I know they do use like
Coors
oils.
is all extract.
Yeah. Okay.
And all big breweries is all extract. There's
I mean,
no hops. It's
when
they're
you
too
say
big to
30
use
years of
hops.
hops use,
At least
What
of
is that?
extract.
okay,
hops.
okay.
So
So
they
at some
basically
point
make it
they
into
were
an
using
oil.
hops, and
Yeah.
they're like, okay.
So for instance,
You had to
here's a
because
story.
the technology was.
I thought that was like a new thing.
Here's a story.
really.
Before marijuana
30
was
years?
legalized,
Yeah.
beer's
When
been around
I was
for
studying-
Shut up,
forever.
Aaron.
Okay.
beer, yes.
No, I mean,
Marijuana, longer.
but I know, yeah. Marijuana's been around since the ancient Mesopotamians.
It's the Sumerians.
It's
I
It's
thought
just-
that was beer.
We're talking Sumer.
Both.
Wait, is that beer?
Yeah, dude, they were getting crunk.
They were dry hopping it with the marijuana. That was the best part.
In high school, I used to dry hump.
It's all good.
Oh, yeah, no, we're doing
great.
good.
No, I mean, at this point,
Uh,
I think we've subsided to just this episode's going to be. We can even break this into a two-part.
We do it again. If we
No, I
need
don't
to.
think this is an episode even. It's more of a mini series.
So like as an example, a professor that I had, he led the R&D team for Heineken. So this story was told to me in 2008, and the story probably comes from like 2002, 2004.
folklore.
And what they literally, I mean, it's like history.
No, it
Same
is. It's,
difference.
that happens too. Like there's beer folklore.
So this is way
I don't
before
think
anyone
it is
should
that.
be fucking around with marijuana
Yeah.
and doing those things. And so Heineken is infamous in the U.S., right? It's just being skunky.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
that's
the
Heineken.
green bottles.
That only happens in the U.S. If you
Yeah.
drink Heineken over in the Netherlands and throughout Europe, it doesn't taste like that.
Sure.
It's really beautiful. It's amazing. It's a great lager.
I
No-
love skunk
no
beers,
skunk.
so that's beautiful to
Well,
me.
so that's the thing. The rest of the world associates
It's more about
them
the
with skunk.
personality, Chad.
What?
I mean, and that's where marijuana could have came into.
Right.
So the chemists, the R&D team there spent over $1 million figuring out how to basically through different like chemical processes, distillation, the same as like when you're extracting different terpenes. So you have to make a certain like high extract product, and then to remove basically there's a cleavage. So it's when it gets the light,
Nice.
this bond is broken, and that's where the skunk aroma.
Sure.
But what they can do is permanently remove that aroma so that it's not there. So they spent millions of dollars doing this R&D to do that. Goes all the way up to the board of Heineken, everything, going through it, taste it, yes, this tastes like Heineken. And you know what they chose? In the end, they chose
skunk.
the skunk character is important because it's what people associate with our beer, and they rejected it. Millions of dollars spent
Yeah.
doing stuff. That's way before marijuana was ever legalized.
But that happened to Rolling Rock too. The exact same thing happened to Rolling Rock, and it's the same problem.
Probably.
No, definitely.
Probably.
It's not
Because
an-
people associate
It's not an
it
I
with the
think.
skunk-
That's an I
the skunk.
know.
Yeah,
It's
see,
right?
No.
I know that for sure.
Are you guys
Yeah,
fighting?
and then they
Yeah.
reject it.
No, you stop.
So that's kind of that plays into like all the chemistry that was going on with extracts and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
totally.
and terpenes and all that stuff is light years ahead.
So when
Yeah.
you're to tie it all back, when you brewed this Vienna lager for your 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
No, this is
I
a good
just-
roundabout.
I just wanted to brew a Vienna.
So
lager.
why?
I've
Yeah.
never
So
brewed
what
one
was the
before.
deal? Like, 'cause
That literally is the deal. Is
This
I
the
never
first
brewed one
Vienna
before.
lager you ever brewed? Man.
We perfected the Pilsner with Von Pilsner,
yeah.
Which is
and
amazing. Is my
that's
favorite.
fun.
That's
to
bold
do
That
take.
and your,
Yeah.
For back
your
to the
rose.
pills.
Well, I mean, Von Miller's, it's brewed for him, so it's brewed for the best.
Does
made
he
by the
drink it?
best.
Do you know?
Hopefully this.
You ever gotten his attention with it?
Hopefully this text
No.
doesn't
You ever throw a
send
can his
anybody racy text messages.
What?
Hopefully this.
No, I heard
doesn't
there's a
send
scandal. I haven't
anybody-
seen.
yeah. There's
hope
a
not.
whole scandal with Von Miller and text messages right now.
Oh,
But one question I
man.
do want to
Oh,
ask
no.
you is
Should
that
we get in
In a very
Come on.
hetero way. We even hid his glasses on here. Von Miller's glasses. It's right there. You can see it.
that's the intention.
And we would donate to his charity.
So
Dude,
why?
that's subtle as
no
shit.
charity
I don't
sale.
want to.
What?
Say the charity.
Von's vision. Because he provides glasses for children in
He's
his
so
vision.
good. I'm so glad. I'm so sad he missed this year.
What I don't want to
This year
skip out
missed.
on.
This year missed him.
Yeah. You know
So
The
Broncos
why,
missed
why
this.
this? Why this for the 10-year? And then I want to
Yeah.
talk about the label too. Like this is important. You know, the fact that you guys are celebrating 10 years. It was 2020. It's
I'm
total
actually
dumpster
really just a
fire.
pyro.
Yeah.
I
That's fine,
like
too.
lighting stuff on fire.
So for anybody that can't
So-
see, the
Hell
label
yeah.
is essentially
Big quick, baby.
it's a Molotov cocktail going into a
Pyros.
dumpster fire. So very representative of 2020.
Debatable. That was Corey's, but I don't think this incites anything like that.
This is a celebration fire.
Oh
If
shit.
of anything.
No, it is. So
Very
so
much. I'm accurate.
historically-
I
Yeah,
know
no matter if you read it left to
It's a
right or
dumpster
up to down,
on
it
fire.
definitely is.
We're
what
actually-
letters Molotov cocktail
No,
in
I
a
think
dumpster.
I think there's a dumpster on fire and we're trying to put it out.
Yeah.
What we're saying is we
What?
brewed a great
Sure.
with
lager.
a bottle that's
You're trying to put it out, but you made it worse.
It's Japanese. You read from left to right.
You're thinking of
Japanese
fire.
read right
Bottom
to
to top.
That's how you.
Japanese
no,
are
that's
top
English. Like,
down.
you read from left to right in English. Like that's how.
Left to right. Hebrew is right
so
to
I,
left.
So I have to admit I'm dyslexic.
They still read top to bottom, so.
I've been saying Ted this
So
whole time.
If you read top to bottom, actually,
So
right?
when I say-
if you read top to bottom,
When I
right
say
to left.
right, I mean left. When I say left, I mean right.
Yeah, when I say straight, I mean gay. That's that's how it
Argue.
works.
Makes so much sense.
Standard.
So you have a
20
hazy
2020,
Vienna lager.
2020 was a fun year.
Yeah.
And we thought we would depict what it seems like happened a lot. Actually, this really did happen. We have video of a random fire going on at the end of the parking lot.
That you said.
Nope.
It was a Tuesday, so it was
I was
random.
at
Random.
home. I was at home
Mitchell,
that
get
day,
over here. Draw it.
And my cell
What's going on
phone
in
will
the
show
can?
that. Just
Yeah,
saying.
your cell phone.
My
Was
cell
it a
phone
Motorola
will
Razr?
show that I was at home that day.
Yeah, alright, sure.
It smelled like gasoline.
Cell phone shows that the video is recorded by you.
Chad, I didn't know you smoked.
It was texted to me. It was texted to me.
No, just today I smoked.
So yeah, so we have a fun theme. We have a couple of collab beers, or at least one. One
With,
collab beers, Westbound and Down. So
Nice.
one of our favorite breweries.
yes, they're great.
So same kind of theme as this, except for not. And instead it shows someone driving to Denver, someone driving to Idaho Springs.
Sure.
That one's a big old stout. 'Cause
Was
we're-
there still construction in
Big old
Idaho
stouts.
Springs when you drove up there? Because what a nightmare that had been.
I love how driving is on the can.
I don't remember. Drinking and driving?
Well, let me ask
We
you
don't
this.
advise that.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't
What as a producer?
What do you think about that label?
It's actually
What is it?
amazing.
What does it invoke in you?
What pointillism? Some pointillism going on here.
It's got like a comic strip vibe to it, like a 4-panel. It's it's like, oh, it's action in motion. You know how to read it because it reads the same as English.
It's like you sit on our marketing.
Yeah, he could. He could use a job right now. So.
Ogallala Lager.
Ogallala Lager. It's coming.
It's gonna
Is it
happen.
Ogallala Lager or is it Ogallala?
It's Ogallala Lager.
So
Missed
question.
an opportunity.
Question I have for you
Little
is:
lager.
at this point, is any lager you do always going to be unfiltered?
Yeah, at this time, I love doing it in the
Yeah.
Keller style.
Yeah.
Where which essentially killer means to lager, to cellar,
Sure.
and to age.
Do you guys have a test kitchen?
But I love the idea of that's racist.
Bro.
Because you guys have had so much
We
success
are the
with.
test kitchen.
No, I mean like, do you
I
have?
love the natural. I love the flavor we give from keeping the yeast in everything.
Yeah, because you've had a ton of success with Von Pilsner, which is a collab you did with Casey, right?
Originally, Troy decided not to come down.
Yeah,
But
he
it was
wasn't
still a
here.
collab. No, we had fun, Troy and I. What most people don't know about Troy Casey at Casey Brewing and Blending, while his sour beers are mostly okay, give or take, Casey, he is
Behind door number 1.
That's so hysterical. Yeah, we both Chris
They're
and
both-
Troy.
They're both back there. They got
he
baseball
is an
bats.
adjunct specialist.
They have
So
socks on
Troy's
and baseball
specialty is
bats.
adjunct lagers.
What is an ad?
No, he doesn't do
Yeah.
any lagers.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Obviously, he wasn't good at his specialty then.
Yeah, I can't. Apparently.
I can
So
only
I
say this
asked
'cause
him about
he
that.
is
I'm like,
one
dude,
of
how
my
is it
best
that you
friends.
don't do any fucking
His-
lagers? You
his
know what I
guy-
mean? Because of his background.
They bought 2 lagering tanks.
Okay,
He got
good.
so jealous of the success of Von Pilsner and everything that he's
That
got
he
to
had
run.
to go get it.
Gotta
Yeah,
run.
because he's good at some like the. So obviously the fruited sours that he does are fucking great. Like they're exceptional and just so easily
We
drinkable.
collaborated on those 2.
Super good. And then I did. They had their pastry, quote unquote, pastry stout that they just released. That's like basically just vanilla bean. That
They say vinegar. I was like, oh, that's not
no,
good.
not vinegar. Yeah, it's
Just
not
this
that.
vinegar.
But that was super
vinegar.
great without adding
Cool.
a ton of more adjuncts to it. They didn't
Yeah.
add marshmallow. They didn't add like a bunch of other shit to it.
Dude.
And then even their hazy IPA was still like it was really fucking good. Even in a category that's pretty crowded and most of the shit tastes the same. I was just like, wow, that's pretty fucking awesome. I love what they're doing.
When did you visit?
We were there 3 weeks ago?
Oh yeah,
Casey?
Super recent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
About 3.
We drove through a blizzard
Yeah.
to get to Casey.
3 weeks ago.
And basically
I
drove
remember
back.
That's when I conceived my 8th child. You ever
Oh,
thought
you
about
Philip Rivers?
Yeah.
Ah,
No, I could throw better. Than
He's Carl Malone.
boy.
Basically the same.
I can't believe that the Colts
But-
are in the playoffs.
But you want to, so you always want to have that.
Always go.
I love that, and it's a very nuanced taste. I think to have, you love lagers, you appreciate lagers, but it's nuanced enough that you like. I still want that bit of soft texture
Yeah.
that comes along with it.
And it's like you know what you're talking about, or I fed you these lines. No, I really do. So in Colorado, everyone is
No, no beer.
Dude, just take
What
my
a shot at your wife, Maslow.
Shut up.
You're
Shut
lucky.
up.
You're lucky because this one has no
Yeah, make sure you touch it.
baby lactose in it. Baby-
Oh, and before I forget
No
to
shit.
ask, when can people get the 10-year anniversary lager? Like, when can they pick it up?
In 3 years when they hit their 10-year anniversary.
They're lagering this for 3 years.
I love that no one said anything.
Get out of town!
You know how you know he's from Bear Creek? Because his map sucks.
Yeah, go Bears!
Go Bears!
What is this, Florida?
Turns out, I opened it for
You
you.
open it for me. Put it in the
Put it in the glass, bitch.
Put it in the
10.
glass flute, the glute.
Oh, yeah. Chapong.
That our
Is that a
10-year
shipping
anniversary
bong? A sipping
is.
bong?
You'll be okay. You should be right. That's probably
That's really
racist,
good.
not
Ooh,
Australia.
That's good.
Turns out-
Ooh, that's spicy.
I'm not drinking this.
Good luck.
Turns
out.
out.
Finish
Our
this
10-year
story.
anniversary is January 10th,
Holy crap, congratulations. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
2021.
2010.
So
2010.
2 years less than your
How long-
initial.
So
how long
can
was
you-
that?
You're a brewery
mathematicals.
and not your high school.
So can
10
people?
year.
So people just
But
pick this
yours
up.
is 10-year.
No,
Ours is a
I'm
little
I'm
older.
past that too. I did not go. I don't.
I went to mine, and a girl that I hung out with got killed.
Her name
Was
was
it dead? Was dead.
She was beautiful. Ashley or something.
Oh, so this is amazing.
She got shot by her. Oh, was it? I don't
Never
know.
mind. We're not talking about Calvin Hobbes.
But
We could.
so where can people pick this shit up, man?
Dude, can you make a beer named Kellen Hobbs?
You know,
Death by car.
I'm just gonna say I grew up with Calvin Hobbes, and
I did too.
he
He
was
was on my football
amazing. He was always
Until he
great to
got
me
weird.
and a wonderful person. So I had great experience with him, like growing up and through high school, and I'm just gonna put that out there.
I hope he
I hope no
hears
one
this.
Googles that.
We're so happy.
Yeah.
When does the beer?
What
come
year
out?
were you guys? The name sounds familiar.
Kelvin Hobbs killed a
I
girl.
will not give you my social security
Oh, whoa!
It
I
was
did
an
not-
accident. He was drunk driving.
Oh.
Or, well, probably meth driving, really.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
that
it
happened
wasn't
to
on
us,
accident
too.
that he got that hammered.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But in his early years, he was a pretty
say.
cool dude.
Degenerate.
Did you go to Westgate?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
does the beer come out?
I believe he was held back. So
This podcast is
He's
hijacked.
older than me. He's your age.
he's my age.
Yeah.
No, I know that.
Mm.
He used to punt a soccer ball higher than I could see.
He was really talented.
He was very well.
Dick was
That-
huge.
that-
Did his own laundry.
Probably was.
I
probably
doubt
was.
he did his own laundry. He probably had.
Yeah, his mom did.
He had
His
a
mom did.
harem to do his laundry.
His mom
But
did,
anyway,
right?
yeah.
But he
When
was
does the beer
man,
come out?
he was talented.
When's the beer come out?
Dumpster Fire 10-year anniversary Vienna Lager comes out any day now.
You can only
But
get it
the
here,
best
or
way
what?
to know is that it's taproom only release.
Okay.
That's not true. We'll probably release a small amount for Colorado because we love Colorado.
Who
It's a great
doesn't?
state.
It's the best.
Can't wait till
Hopefully
it gets
most
its
of your
own
people
ocean.
are from Colorado. If not, we'll send some near you. Not true, but you can buy it from us.
Do you
so
ship?
the anniversary, no, it's illegal.
Right.
So we don't ship
Right.
beer.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can come in and pick it up. So yeah, our 10-year anniversary is January 10th. We should be releasing these in the next couple of days. I can tell they were just labeled.
Nice.
By the
Good
time the
chance you can come
podcast
in
is
tomorrow.
out, it should be.
The
Today?
stickiness is still fresh.
Yesterday.
So when the
Actually-
podcast is out,
Actually, by the
it'll
time
be.
the podcast comes out, it was released yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on
Come
So
and
good.
get some.
It's
And I love,
absolutely
like,
delicious.
It's super
Back to that kind of softness. So Colorado, we're really fortunate with the water.
That should be
we
the
have.
name of the beer, that kind of softness.
That kind of
That's Maslow's
That's
first
better
album.
than Danny popped his first cherry.
Where
I need
is
beer. I
your-
need name credit for that though, because I've had 2 different instances now where I've named beers and gotten 0 credit for it. So I'm gonna fucking need that.
Can you remind me? What was it again?
My name's Corey.
That kind
I
of
still
softness,
remember your
that
name.
kind of softness.
That
by
kind of
Aaron
softness.
Maslow. Also, you should be Google Keep.
Yeah,
Cool.
Google
I
Keep
just
rules.
texted my dad that,
Great.
so I'll remember.
What is your
That's
dad?
that could be weird out
That
of
kind of
context.
softness.
Out of context, that could be very
It's good. My
weird.
stepmom was in it too.
When
So
did you have
talking about the
your-
softness of beers.
Yeah. Shh. I know. When are we doing the flutes? I don't think I can.
One of the things that is, as we play around, as we tweak, as we do kind of all sorts of different things with the beers.
In your test
I
kitchen.
think. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Water.
I'm gonna go.
Racist.
You guys do.
That's
whatever it is.
Racist.
That water's really important, and softness is key.
Yeah.
And especially in lagers. And it's kind of a misconception that in Colorado, we do, for the most part, along front range, have really soft water. And to each their own, but some people prefer kind of not to really do anything to the water because it's already soft, so they brew lagers because, Czech Pilsen lagers are well known for being soft. For us, there's still other attributes that you can really hit on. So we're really specific in sending our water off for testing, and the way that we add the salt ions, which really affect the softness in the water for a beer, is really accentuated for, it's talked a lot about with hazy IPAs and with chloride sulfidation stuff. I think it's equally as important in a lager and being able to hit those. And so that leaving it unfiltered in the yeast really kind of accentuates that already really soft character. So if we did find this beer, filter it, you would still have such a soft, really elegant beer the way it's made. I like to leave it lightly unfiltered because I feel like it's just kind of like the pillow cap, the softness on the beer that just kind of hits home. So I love the mouthfeel, the flavor, and all those things. If I felt the beer needed it, we would fine it or filter it. We don't have filter capabilities, but we would do that.
This is very much the New York bagel argument. New York bagel.
Oh, it's very much
yeah,
a New
yeah.
York bagel argument.
Yeah.
The water is better. That's what makes
You're
the bagel
from
so good.
Colorado.
I know, but I had grandparents that were from Queens.
You too.
Or Brooklyn. I don't remember.
So I know what bagels are.
I've had.
I've been to Rosenberg's.
I've been to Moe's.
Yeah. So let's do a flute. So are you guys gonna flute right now?
Flute.
Let's do a
Yes.
flute
Everyone
salute.
can do
So what are you gonna flute though? What's the beer?
So we're fluting Sun Prince. super cool shout out to friends from North Carolina. I know we were picking on them a little earlier.
Yeah.
But there's some cool people in
They
it.
voted for Trump.
There's some cool.
Not these guys.
I mean, they were trying not.
Are they in
to.
Asheville?
They were
Are these guys in Asheville or no?
So close to Asheville.
Oh god.
They're so close to Asheville, they're
Still on the hills.
Yeah.
But those hills
Yeah,
have
but as
eyes.
soon as you get outside of Asheville, dude, that's the Bible Belt as fuck. So.
Oh, it's already spilling. You ready? No. Lips can't touch.
No,
Lips
because
can't
he's
touch
just
yet.
lactating. It's not spilling.
It's in my beard in a weird way.
Like that.
What are we fluting right now? Fresh Prince?
We're fluting.
Can you
Sun
read-
Prince.
Sun Prince. Fresh Prince and Sun Prince.
Why the frog?
Do you need an explanation for this, like your jokes?
Yeah!
Give me the can, I'll explain it. Aaron, toss that shit
You
over
explain
here.
beer. And the best part about the Shambong is you just drink it.
I don't think anybody knows.
Double
I'm sure
IPA,
you
brewed
guys-
with
you
Colorado
graduated from
peaches,
Beer
DDH with
Beer
Hallertau
Creek.
Blanc.
Beer
Yeah,
Creek.
oh, this sounds
That was
fucking
not-
great.
Beer Creek
You know how to do
beers!
this. You know how to do this. Ready? Go.
We're just doing the whole thing?
You know how to do this. Put your lips around it. Suck it down.
There you go.
Yeah, baby!
My neighbor's kids do that, not me.
Just super
The
peachy.
peach flavor is really prominent.
Do you
These
do...
are Colorado Palisades.
Yeah, I was
peaches,
was
right?
asking. Do you?
That's
sorry,
your guys'
asking.
turn.
I was curious.
On that
Do you
western
do a lot with peaches? Because I know you have a sour out there with peaches. You've got this beer, and I, for the record, I do love everything about the description of this. The fact that it's IPA, it's peaches, and then the hops that go with it. To me, are so complementary to peach. Like the Hallertau and Heel Melon obviously have very melon kind of properties to them. They're not citrus. They're not super passion fruit, right? Like it's just very melon kind of fruit
And
flavor.
you're
that-
double
and that-
downing on the sweet, I think.
And that
Not, but not
that
over sweet.
accentuates
But like
Right.
when you have a
Stone
melon,
fruit.
it's not crazy sugar sweet.
And
It's
I gotta
very
be
subtle,
honest,
right? Like it's,
it definitely
Doesn't
levels
give away
off the
stone
hops.
fruit.
It evens
does.
out the hops. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not getting, and I'm not a fan of
Yeah,
hop
in
beer, so
some
this is
ways,
delicious.
it might be someone would have it be like, oh, like double IPA. This is letting me down in the hops because it's not hitting you over the head with like pine, citrus, like heavy resins and all this characteristic.
Wrench.
It's really going in the fruity
which is a great beer
Not
from
wrench.
Industrial Arts.
wrench.
You're
I
gonna do
love
the
it. That's true. That's good.
Good, yeah.
I think you're supposed to just pour it because the balance of it.
You just
Yeah.
put it in the.
Yeah, you may have
just
to
put it
learn
in
that.
the
So
deal.
yeah,
You
just
take this,
pour
yeah.
that one.
Where'd you get those little beer flutes?
It's a really cool thing called the internet.
I've never heard of
Ever
it.
heard of it? No.
Explain.
So you go to www.bing.com.
Let me get
It's
a pencil.
more of an Ask Jeeves guy. My
Look at that pour, though. Come on. Look at that
And then, you,
pour.
and then you go.
Yeah? Who's looking for a job? Look at that pour.
Look
Look
at that
Yeah.
pour.
at that pour.
Like I've done this
Does your
before.
tap room do flutes?
You should make this more of a thing.
Yeah, that should.
Well,
Why
I mean,
please?
maybe not the sharing part, but whatever. All right, you ready?
Why is it on like permit? There we go. Yes.
We good?
You should use
Done.
mouthwash.
Fluting.
I didn't brush my teeth till 4. Corey, you spilled it on your shirt. Worse
Jesus
than I
goddamn
did.
Christ.
I got some on my pants.
I mean, the
Damn it,
the
I
physics
missed
of
that.
the
I
physics
got
of
some on my
this,
pants.
I hit stop before you said
the
that.
physics
No,
of
no,
this
no.
are not great. I feel like I rocked it about an inch, and then it all shot out.
It's sensitive. It's touchy.
Yeah,
it's
they
touchy
really-
go.
yeah, what is this, my mother? Jesus Christ.
It seriously looks like a chemistry set.
Oh, so you have other...
Yeah, I just started thinking about that.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, just for the sake of brevity. We're going to combo doing bad reviews with some of the new fun things that you want to talk about
You got
with the
your
way you're
wallet out?
brewing
I'll take whatever you have.
and fermenting. So,
So this is the
are you
wine.
familiar with bad reviews? I think we talked to you a little bit about
Yeah.
it before the show.
Can I smell this before you do anything with it?
To each their own.
It's very
It smells
a
like a
la-
bad review. No, it smells like
Yeah.
plum wine.
It's very a la Jimmy Kimmel Mean
What
Tweets,
is it,
where we
Concord?
have the brewers listen to or
Cat
read
Fun.
some of their bad reviews, either from Yelp, Google, or Untapped. And we basically talk about how stupid internet reviews are. So we work with a lot of breweries that are mostly 4.5 star plus rated, and you guys are no exception to that. But we still think it's pretty fun to
Yeah, you
Except
get
for
some
the
bad
talk
ones.
about
You get
some
some bad ones in
shitty
here.
reviews.
Man, I wish you
So
guys
let's
would
do
do
a
a
review.
podcast with a bad brewery. That would be fun.
Oh, we've done that, but we
Right.
just haven't.
Yeah.
We're
they
shit
just
malt
don't know it.
liquor, and we should have been better, but we're not.
They know who they
It's
are.
hard to do. It's hard to do.
All right, so here's how we'll do this, just to make sure that we're using our time efficiently. If you want to pour
The efficiency is over.
Well,
The time efficiency
I know.
is over.
I know.
I was like, well,
that. But if Steve wants to read a review,
So
and then
this
we'll
is
talk a little bit
still
about what we're
fermented,
pouring.
or not fermented.
and then I'll read one.
It's bubbly.
it's bubbly.
Tight.
Here you go.
Smells
Thank
like
you very
champagne
much.
almost.
Steve, get the review going, bro.
Don't shrug your shoulders. I don't know.
This review is from
That was
six.
I'm your
That was a
customer.
nice shrug. That was
Maslow.
like a yes. That was a
Thank
yes. You are.
What?
Here, you keep this one. Pour it in this one.
Cool. I took your.
That's you.
Here,
This is
pour
me.
it back in this dumpster fire can.
All right, Sarah F. from 6/7/15. So this is an old one. Back, I believe the source days. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, that was a dumpster fire, so that doesn't count.
Like Source Magazine, or?
Dear bartender
We
that
call it the
was
source-
working.
We call it the source of all problems.
Dear bartender that was working on 6/7/15. I love Crooked Stave and was very excited to take my sisters here for their first sour beer, especially on her birthday. It was so incredibly rude that you kept walking by and ignoring me when I was just trying to inform you that the source's website had incorrect information for your closing time on Sunday evenings. Horrible customer service. I specifically joined Yelp to write this comment because I felt so disrespected as your customer, which saddens me, as I have never had any problems before this.
How fucking entitled do you have to be to specifically join Yelp to give a bad review to a business that's inside of another business?
Yeah, it's not even
And
your
it was-
website. It's not even your website.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
You got a
ours.
1-star review for that.
But
You
I'm
got
going to use that information in court.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Just in case.
Tell
Just go
Sarah
to
F
court,
sent
huh?
you.
And here's why we're not paying for the website.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you even say to stuff like that? Like, when you guys get bad reviews, do you look at any of those?
Oh, he's responded to a handful of them. I know that from looking, for
Dear
sure.
Sarah, shut up.
I am personally responsible for all the very important, candid responses. I remember this one specifically. I really do.
Oh, really?
And it touched me so much so that, that employee, we sat them down. We had a talk. We decided it was a difference because, customer service is the utmost key. We decided to part ways. So it's very important.
Whoa!
Customers
Over
always
this
right.
review?
And that
Whoa!
I can say that bartender is no longer with us.
Dude, did that bartender blow it other times? Or was it just over this review? I feel like they had to blow it
Did you
other
sign
times.
up for a Yelp account just for this review?
Out of respect for that employee, I can't comment on that.
Yeah.
I don't quite recall whether they're rehireable or not, but yeah.
Interesting.
Or
Yeah, I mean, that's just like... I feel like this wasn't their fault at all, honestly. I feel like the source's website is not your problem.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe they shouldn't have walked away, but also, like, people exaggerate shit on Yelp, so it's like, what are they really trying to say,
I think that what the customer says is always the most important.
What are you, Burger
I
King?
love
Jesus.
our customers, and I read every Yelp review, and what?
Alright, this one's from, this is an Untapped review for Ryan and the Gosling. Gosling. I don't know if it's a play on.
Do you know who Ryan
a
Gosling
beer.
is?
Never heard of him.
Really?
So
Actually, you ever heard of
it's
his
a
band?
He's from
it's
the
a collab.
movies.
It's a
The band is
collab.
good.
His band Nickelback.
I'm
That
here,
you did.
I'm here to sign an
Called
autograph.
Dead Man's Bone.
Yeah, it's you. This is your picture on the can.
They're good.
It is.
They're good.
So
Really?
it's
They got a handsome.
it's
I
a
used-
collab
I used to
with
look like Ryan Gosling.
Evil Twin Brewing.
Still kind
Heard that guy's a douche. And let's see what they have to say about it. The total rating for the beer is 3.53.
Yikes.
And then the review from Amber is, haven't been this disappointed in Ryan Gosling since he hooked up with Eva Mendes. 2 stars. How do you respond
That's
to it?
racist. Sorry. Yep. As a white male, it's racist.
Yeah, I
So-
can make that jurisdiction.
Yeah. I think what she's done is really hurt.
But what do you
her.
say about this particular... So this is one of your lower rated beers. I don't know if you... I'm sure you have some memory of how it turned out or what your expectations were.
Yeah, I
because
mean, a
you did a
person brewed
collab
it in
with
South
Evil
Carolina,
Twin.
but no big deal.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done that.
Here's what I think. Is the problem is most of the people. It's really weird. Like people who buy different beers and stuff. And what we found when we did our research was most of the people who bought that beer, their mother's basement that they were still living in was so rank,
It was damp.
and it really like hurt their ability to properly like sensorily like kind of take everything in, like there's olfactors. I don't want to get too
That's true.
far
Your
into it,
allergies are at an all-time
You know?
high because of the mildew.
Yeah,
Does this taste
so
moldy to
basically
you?
what I want to say is like, you know, you can only blame yourself. So
And I do.
they should blame themselves for being in their mother's basement still. And I don't think it's. I mean, well, you know, I know for a fact science academics and stuff. You know, CSU University would tell you
Bear
that
Creek.
Since I went to
Go
Bear
Bears!
Creek.
it's one of the best beers. And I mean, the fact that Ryan Gosling himself bathed in it and came to South Carolina to brew it and all those things, like
He came
it's
in South Carolina.
It's endorsed by the man himself, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no one better than Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. I have another review from
Wait,
that
can I-
same beer
can I
that's
read
5
one?
stars.
You're
It's
gonna
gonna be a
read it?
quick hit.
Yeah,
It's gonna
do
be a
This
quick
this
hit.
person's right.
I
so
bought
just
this
say
hat. I bought this hat at St. Croix Shoe
They're
in
all right.
Hudson, Wisconsin today. We are at the Postmark Grill having a mojito right now. 5 stars for Ryan and the Gosling.
He's right.
Yeah,
I agree.
That
with
sounds
him.
like a 5-star experience, even I don't really understand what it has to do with the beer.
What hat did he buy?
He said, I bought a hat. It's the hat that he has. There's a picture of it on his Untapped review. This hat at St. Croix and Shoe in Hudson, Wisconsin, and he's having a mojito.
This is why I brew
5
beer.
stars.
No, but like
Untapped.
I can connect with this guy. This is why I brew beer, is because the beer blows you away so much that that's all you can say about
Yeah.
the beer. It's
Yeah.
so freaking good that all you can do is talk about the hat that you bought.
I'll give 1 star
What
to
a
the
good
hat.
hat.
Do you
Yeah.
even know what you're doing? Let me read this review.
Whoa!
Wow,
Hijack!
Aaron's hijacking our show.
Hijack!
You should be double fisting.
If you like sours like I do, this place
I actually know this
have
one.
to check.
I
I
have
was
that on
lying
here,
before.
too.
I've
Yeah.
never heard any of those other ones. This one I've heard.
If you like,
Just kidding.
I'm
Sours.
I'm Annabelle Cole.
This one's from Facebook.
Okay, I'm gonna do her voice. I'm Annabelle Cole. If you like sours like I do,
Is that the owner of the Broncos?
I'm pretty sure she's.
The new GM, actually.
Yeah, it might be.
Annabelle?
If you like sours like I do,
Oh, that's-
this place is the place to check out. Particularly like the Earl Grey and passion fruit. Great
Nope, don't know this one.
on that tap. So, 5 stars.
Tap that.
5 stars.
That's not a bad review.
That's not a bad review, Aaron. If you're gonna
Shut
interject
up, Aaron.
with a review, you gotta make sure it's fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
I was just having a hard time finding bad reviews. There's just not
Yeah, this is
many
good
of
brew.
them.
Well, that's because you're not good. I have one.
That's
I
because
have
you
one.
aren't a professional.
Yeah,
That is
Professional.
obvious.
I have one.
That is.
This review is from Claire B. From
What is this?
9/11/15. So
Related to-
you probably
Ooh,
remember
yikes.
it.
Cousin of
No,
Tito
no,
would like this.
cousin of Cardi B.
Tito
by the
likes
way.
it.
He would add his own like Sprite to it.
We should put it in the chat.
Hey, pay attention to my jokes.
Claire B. says
It's Claire B's
2
jokes.
stars. Maybe it's because I'm not a fan of sour beers. If you don't like sour beers, I don't recommend this place. Even the beers don't sound sour, and the description are sour.
What's the
2
description?
stars.
What's a sour description?
Doesn't
So-
say.
So Cardi B, right?
Claire.
That's who it was?
Claire B.
Same difference.
Yeah. It's
So-
the white version of Cardi
So
B.
we
Claire B.
love we love Claire B. They're maybe the best because theirs starts like this. I hate IPA, but this IPA sucks.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that's, you hear
What do you
that
do
and
with
you're
that?
like,
Yeah.
so hey, I have a really good idea. Get out of your mother's basement. Get a job.
Well, it's just strange that they feel so self-important that they need to comment on something that they already know they don't like. Like the fact that they need to attribute a rating and potentially damage somebody's business because it's just me reporting.
I'm not a big
Right.
fan of horse racing, and when I went to Del Mar racing track, I didn't like the horses.
I didn't like the way they treated the horses.
They were all there, and that was bad. And that's why I'm giving it a 7-star review.
But we had a good time.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
really,
everybody
it's
made a
like,
bunch of money.
it's like, I hate football, and I watched this football game, and it sucked.
Drew Lock threw 2 interceptions. 0 stars.
Okay, I get it. We're all
And
Broncos
it's like,
fans. That's
why
fine.
do you even know what an interception is?
I had
Yeah.
to research.
I don't.
Well, it's just I think
As someone who doesn't like
synonyms
sours.
for passing to
Oh.
other teams.
Well, thank you. So
Well-
so maybe this should not count.
part of the problem is that you level up within these systems just for leaving a review.
Yeah.
Like you see, you can just
Yeah.
just by leaving a review, you gain badges, you get more credit and whatever else. You build your community, and that part of it is ridiculously flawed.
Do you
right?
feel your
Well, it's social media, right? It's the
Yeah.
best way to interact without interacting. It's
Yeah,
social.
I mean,
It's social.
yeah. Because you can just leave a comment up there as opposed to being a part of the
Like,
conversation.
for instance, this right now, like, the really bad thing about this is, like, we're actually here engaging,
in
and that
February?
sucks
the
for
infection.
everyone else who's not with us. That's fucked up, you know? Instead,
Yeah,
we should be
eat
by
it,
ourselves,
listeners.
posting something that only is about us. That's social.
Not for the people I want to hang out with.
Why was
Not
that
the
a
people I
joke?
wanna hang
That
out
was
with.
That was
such,
good.
That was
That
such
was-
like a
Well, that was
great-
like a TED Talky.
That silence
Good
was
joke.
awesome.
No,
Yeah.
you
It was
had us-
awkward.
Palpable. No,
It's
it's
awkward.
That sucks.
Go Bears!
Can I ask you a question?
And you just lost all your listeners.
Do you think Crooked Stave is brought? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Is there another? Are we in the wrong brewery? Did I say the wrong name? Hello, Minneapolis. Oh shit, it's St. Paul.
Oh, no.
Do you think you've
Call him a cut, see what happens.
with your increased visibility? Do you think you've brought sour to the forefront of the general public? Do you think you're a prominent craft beer?
So before
Is
he
that a bad question?
No,
Thank you
no,
for
but
reading
before
the
he
notes I sent
answers,
you before this.
but before he answers that question, I do want to give a bit of an answer because
I am Crooked Stave.
I just
I'm
spilled.
Corey.
Crooked Stave was one of the first sour beers that I ever had that was distributed in New York and wasn't an import or export. I'm sorry, that had the puckering sour that you would expect from real lambic, like from real wild fermentation that is produced elsewhere and is a cultural part of that country or that brewing tradition. That was the first experience that I had with real puckery, intense sours. Was Crooked Stave.
I mean, and that's amazing to hear because that literally was kind of the goal. As you say that, I mean, that's like literally a question I should have fed you. The amazing part is that I actually didn't feed him that.
Feed him.
Because you're
Hand
not my
feed him.
guy.
I'm on a
Yeah,
diet,
feed him.
and I'm
Just
not
give him,
supposed
like,
to be
little
drinking.
nibbles.
Yeah,
This is
Don't tell
you're
his
not
wife.
feeding anything.
Little nibbles.
And you ate
Don't touch my
meat
wife.
by
Yeah, but I'm trying to give you that credit, like
No, it's-
as a part of like being, because not only is
Truly.
making the thing hard enough, but doing it on a large enough scale where you can distribute it to other places. Because this is when I was in New York.
Totally,
And-
and
and-
it was one of the first places we kind of started distributing to. We were fortunate to have like a really good relationship out there, but that literally fit really the mission and the vision for the company. So it's always been my goal to kind of share what we did and to be able to speak about it. So from the really nerdy background of doing a master's dissertation in brettanomyces yeast, which is the yeast responsible for sour beer, I really wanted to explode it. So our kind of legacy as a brewery is that, you know, when it comes to the immense craft beer industry and what we have in all the breweries, for Crooked Stave, we're the second brewery in the United States to focus entirely on wild and sour beers. And the first, I mean, God bless him, is in Dexter, Michigan, Jolly Pumpkin Brewing. That's the first brewery to entirely focus on those and start being able to spread those beers.
Right, because New Belgium kind of came before that with their souring program.
Totally.
Well, that wasn't their total focus, but they kind of led the way in Colorado.
In
and
Colorado,
nationally
but it's-
almost. I mean,
yeah.
La Folie was nationally distributed before
Yeah.
basically everything else.
100%, and to me, that's my mentors, my love. Like, one of the first beers I ever brewed and continue to brew this today, Origins, literally pays homage to New Belgium and La Folie. So much of the information I know comes from Peter Buchart and Lauren Salazar and Eric Salazar and the people who are instrumental in that program. When Crooked Stave, so kind of as a legacy of ours, when we started and when I founded it, you could literally count on two hands. I mean, there was about 10 sour beers that had been made ever in the United States. That's how limited sour beer was. You could not get it. You could not find it. It's, I mean, my sour beer moment is New Belgium and is La Folie, and then La Terroir and Eric Sales. And we're talking about early 2000s. There was only a handful, two actually in New York. And you mentioned one of the next breweries he was at. But in Ithaca, you had Chief, so you had Jeff.
Yeah, over at Ithaca Brewing Company.
And so that was amazing what Jeff did. and then his buddy, which came
Which is
from
so
Sierra Nevada,
fucking.
which is Captain Lawrence.
I
Captain
know,
Lawrence
yeah,
is
yeah.
amazing beers, and he was working at Sierra Nevada before
It's such
that,
a shame that Ithaca kind
two
of.
of the two most amazing.
They
when
kind
Je-
of discontinued their Brute series. That
well,
was just like
Jeff
oh,
left,
God, it was
and then
so
Andrew.
good.
Andrew was continuing this. I love our short beer history, especially when it comes to like sour beer and stuff. And then Andrew was continuing it, and then Andrew has been down at. It's fucked up when you start drinking, you start forgetting things. It takes me like 1.5 beers too to do that.
It's like,
He's in San Diego making phenomenal beers at
Stone.
Modern
Deschutes.
Modern
No,
Times?
Deschutes is bad.
Times. There we go. I knew
Modern
it the whole.
Times.
I knew it the whole time.
It was
Modern
there
Times.
on your tongue.
Yeah. So Andrew Schwartz at Modern Time.
I'm gonna
And
say
after
that was
Andrew, I think it was just gone. Like none of those beers are from Ithaca. And Captain Lawrence is also an interesting one because they're still there and they're still making those beers. Those are some of the first like influential beers from Captain Lawrence. And then Russian River, Lost Abbey, and like I just told you every single sour beer in the United States before Crooked Stave started.
right.
It was my goal, my focus, and it was funny. It's kind of a double-edged sword. My goal was to make the highest quality sour beer possible, highest quality beer. That's the background, and make it available. I wanted to turn people onto sour beer. I mean, our entire tier, our entire program. Why do we make Pilsner and IPA? Because those are gateway drugs. I mean, gateway beers to sour beers.
My Mormon mom still calls me a drug dealer, so
if
you're
we
not
can-
wrong.
For all your beer drinking.
Yeah, well, no, all my beer peddling. I mean, I was in beer sales for 8 years
That's
before
nothing.
this.
You should see the Christmas present I got from this guy.
I gave him a hand job.
Or from some marijuana.
Oh yeah, I gave him some pot that I grew in my garden.
The gift that gives once.
Does that work?
Yeah, that's right.
No, so yeah, we make these beers. The whole idea is like we want to be the brewery that introduces people to wild and sour beer. That's why Earl Grey, which we haven't even gotten into yet, it's a
I'll be taking it on the road.
brettanomyces, said Melvin Gordon.
Very quick, I gotta get to this
I love the
stoplight
Broncos.
and run into
So
it.
I hope everyone says so with wild and sour beer and being able to do it. And we did, and eventually we were able to produce enough beer to be able to start shipping it out. And what's really crazy though is at the same time there's this inverse relationship between when something's available, then someone no longer wants it. So it's really interesting, like
Yeah.
the floor and ceiling between sour beer and all those things.
Well, one thing
But
that's
it was our
particularly
goal.
interesting about doing like a brat sour beer is that so it went through a fairly small window of really intense sour beers being very popular a few years ago, where you gonna it again? Yeah, go for it. But unlike other styles, your stuff that went through its kind of heyday and hypeness is shelf stable.
I feel like it's
You know,
still
it actually gets better sometimes
Yeah.
with age, right?
We're
I think
still
that's
drinking
kinda
some of the
unique.
first, and like, wow, this is improving.
So 2 things I'm gonna do are we want to watch you chug, obviously.
Yeah, and we should mention. So this is naturally fermented pet nat or methode ancestral.
Yeah.
So Colorado, believe it or not, can grow grapes, wine grapes.
What?
They're not half bad. So this is Cabernet Franc.
I'm just getting a
traditional.
ton of cherry off of this.
It's cool. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
like the flavor from it. So
Super
Cabernet
sweet,
Franc,
yeah.
usually used in like a Bordeaux blend or anything like that with Merlot and Cab Sauvignon and those. So what we did was Colorado Cab Franc grapes.
Yeah.
We crush them, and what gets the color is that when the skins interact with the juice. Basically, sat on the juice overnight, kind of cold maceration. Yeast start kind of going.
Masturbation, I think, is the terminology, but yeah. Go ahead.
Well, it's maceration, not masturbation.
What a curious
I
Masturbation
think that's
is
that's
what
what I know, but go ahead.
Aaron's
Maceration
Sounds like what you're
is
doing right now is
the
masturbation.
prospect of soaking your vegetables or produce.
Loins,
in
I think, is what
some
you're
sort
going
of-
for.
He's not vegetarian. So
Some
overnight,
white dye.
pressed it.
So we've got this.
Oh, it's cool. Cody's not real.
Yeah.
Nothing's real. It's all surreal.
Nobody at the Capitol building believes that today either.
Famous last words.
So you've got this. So you've got your hands in multiple fermentation projects.
I love fermentation.
Can I ask
so,
you a fermentation question?
totally interrupting. Corey.
I know. Corey is great.
You know how
but
hard it is for me to go on tangents?
I don't.
Me neither.
How?
I mean, we're 3 hours in at least.
Can you,
so.
are you serious? I gotta.
Joke's on you. You don't have a home anymore.
That's true. Because I can't afford it. Do you
he's
do you
gonna shit
ferment
himself.
pickles?
Do you ferment?
Do you
That's
use
why
sour
you
pickles?
interrupted me. You interrupted me to ask if he ferments pickles.
Everything I do is.
Boy.
Do you want that yeast?
No, it's yours. You need the B vitamins, man.
This B vitamin, yeah.
That's B vitamins. Chug it.
All right,
Take
do you
a
want to
supplement every
Chug it.
chug
Chug
the
it.
yeast? Chug the yeast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gross.
If he didn't have the shits before, he's gonna have
He's got him now for
He's-
sure.
I don't know. I think it's like
You guys
He's
didn't tell me that.
here. I got a stick of butter. Why don't you eat that? Oh, wait, you can't do butter. We got MCT oil for you.
Let me wipe my mouth with this weight.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
biggest
that-
thing is like
That's
this.
gonna keep your wife
If
from
you wipe
figuring
your
it out.
nose and mouth with this, you won't get COVID. Don't eat it. Just wipe your mouth and nose with it.
Nobody
Yeah.
understands me like you.
I know.
Thank you.
It's because we got a Broncos game.
So,
In the fucking cold. It was so cold. Thank you,
Zach-
Curtis.
Zach
Shout out to
Shackles.
Shout out Zach. Shut the fuck up.
I mean,
Shout out to Curtis Hahn, who won our fantasy football league this year.
what a man.
Yeah,
What
What an
20
American.
20 years.
20 years he's been waiting to win
20
that
years.
championship.
Yeah, and he beat Jared. Jared's been in the league for what, like a year or something,
Several
too.
minutes.
Yeah, I mean we should have beat Jared.
So before you guys chug your
Jimo's
flu,
in the hand job.
before you chug your flu, I'm gonna read
Mine's
another bad
way
review.
taller than yours.
It's your fault.
Because by the way, what is this technically? By the way,
It's wine.
So it's a.
it's a wine.
Oh god, this guy.
It's a wine.
Well, he said
So
it
this
a
is
lot.
it's a natural
Okay,
wine.
can
It's
people buy this
nat,
anyplace?
and
There's no
this is a
label.
natural wine. Once I get my shit together.
Okay, great. No, I just
This-
want to be able to direct people to
So
the thing.
so this project that I'm doing is currently called Chalk Art Wine. I hope I continue with that name. It kind of plays to the fact that chalk art is not art, but my kids
Yeah, there's
sure as
comedy,
hell
but
make
there's
art.
yeah, comedy is also
so
not
we
art,
can
so
agree
we're
None of it is-
agree to agree.
none of it
I
is
gotta tell you
natural
that
fermented-
yeasty
No,
bottom
it's super
tastes a
good.
lot
I
like
mean,
chalk
yeah,
art.
It's got.
I just want to say this: if you like hazy IPA, you'll like this hazy wine.
Yeah, right.
It's all natural,
It's got
baby.
it's got a lot of like really awesome cherry
It would
quality
have
to
to.
it.
It's
delicious.
really cool the way I
But
made it.
I'm
No
glad-
yeast
that's
added,
cool that you
full
guys are doing it.
spontaneous.
It's very tasty.
No.
All right, so before you guys chug your flu, I'm gonna read another bad review. This one's for
Yeah.
Meyer Lemon Saison.
Yes.
3.
Dude, this one's from Aaron. This is Aaron. Aaron wrote this.
No, this is from Ted. This is why he's dead.
This is why he's dead.
Hold on.
You know,
You brought it up.
Are you gonna chug it first? Go ahead.
We're
You
gonna
guys.
chug it while you read
We'll
it.
sip
Okay,
it
we're
while
gonna
you-
chug it while you read it.
Some
So
shit.
this is 2 stars on Untapped from Chris P. Floor cleaner or piss? One or the other.
Maslow had to stop. That's bullshit.
It's only a flute.
Yeah, it's like 6 ounces.
Shut up,
yeah,
Maslow.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all pork.
So, Chad, what do you say
What
to
you don't
somebody
know is
that's?
that he didn't actually go to Bear Creek.
Yeah, he
If
wasn't.
you went to
tough
Bear
enough.
Creek,
Yeah, damn it. Some of the Green Mountain people in this town.
Damn you. You're Alameda.
Chatfield, motherfucker.
Yeah, you
Go
would
Chargers!
Be. You would be.
I would
Columbine.
What do you
Oh, wait,
say to
that's
somebody
insane.
that
Can't
says
say.
that their flavor profile on Untapped is either floor cleaner or piss?
Unrefined.
Which, I mean, to be honest, the combination sounds intoxicating. It sounds lovely. This is an R. Kelly beer.
I mean, that's kind of like a takes one to know one.
Like,
type
I can
thing.
pee on somebody and there's floor cleaner in it, so I don't even have to wipe it up. Ugh,
I'm
exceptional.
sorry.
So
Hold on.
here's-
Have you guys ever smelled Fabuloso?
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah. It's
So
great.
I would drink.
Here's my
that.
thoughts
It's
with
delicious.
this.
It's floor cleaner.
Here's my thoughts with this review.
Sure,
really.
sure.
Maybe you did go to
You know,
Bear Creek.
it's all about perspective,
Yeah.
right?
And
And
some
what
people
I'm
like
having
this.
a really hard time is like I can't see his perspective because I don't regularly drink or even ever drink my urine, other people's urine,
Sure.
or a floor cleaner.
Oh.
So the thing is like,
Did not end where I thought it was going to end.
my palate is not as sophisticated as his, and that's the issue. So I have to kind of say like,
yeah, it's because
you
you're
know,
a novice. You don't know
Yeah.
flavor.
So I only know like, you know, the lemons that we zested, you know, the beer, the citrus, different fermentation compounds that are produced from brettanomyces and the yeast and everything, and different ethyl esters and stuff like ketones. It can kind of start to explain all of that.
Sounds
Like,
dumb.
yeah.
I'd much
However,
rather know if it tastes like something I can clean
That's-
my floor with or
that's-
something that's going to come out of my dick.
That's the thing. So without drinking my or other people's urine or floor cleaner like he does, it's just it's just hard for me to relate, you know. And
This
I'm not trying
guy's
to
just
be
like bird fattening piss into his mouth while also simultaneously drinking Lysol to be like, This kind of tastes like Meyer Lemon Cetra Saison.
I mean, he's clearly doing a side by side.
yeah.
He's like Maslow doing the chug.
So that's the thing. He's like beer connoisseur.
I'm
you know?
not trying to be insensitive. I can't. I can't get on the same level as him to
Trying to be
understand his
insensitive.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to have tasted both in order to have some realistic comparison. And what I will say, hold on, what I will say is that it's a 2-star. So for floor cleaner and piss,
It means his piss
One
plus
star
floor
each.
cleaner.
it's
tastes
not.
One
Yeah,
star
so he didn't give this a 1. He said that that's acceptable to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And I
Pine Sol, man.
That's cool.
Pine Sol's good.
So I mean,
Yeah.
perspective is everything,
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and he has a unique perspective
very much so.
that my palate's not that sophisticated.
Yeah, you're
I don't
just
have
because you're a
those.
fucking noob, dude.
Yeah. I can admit when I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can know.
know.
I know.
I
I
don't
know.
know.
I don't know what I don't know. You know. So.
Yeah, that's your
You
blind
don't
spots
know,
are difficult.
yeah.
And what's
My
great is that
blind spots
he is
happen
clearly
to be urine.
and that's right.
And
But he,
floor cleaner.
you gotta give this guy
And floor
credit
cleaner.
because he's challenging his blind spots. He's going for it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he probably regularly tastes multiple people's piss. You know, because like, so here's something. I've been for about the last 6 weeks or so drinking at least a gallon of water a day. Sometimes like up to
Yeah, you
know
look so
an
swole
extra.
right now.
No, I'm just fat. It's more about hydration. You see this yummy skin.
Yeah,
Collagen.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a creatine guy.
So my piss has been like really clear. And it's been nice. And like once or twice it's been like a little bit yellow and stuff, you know. And been like, oh fuck, like I didn't drink enough. Like I need to drink more. And so I'm guessing he's sampling like the population. Really.
Oh yeah, he's drinking some dehydrated piss for sure. Yeah. No,
and that's why I
like-
got 2 stars. If it was like really out there, probably would have
3.
one.
3 stars for like good
Yeah, I
piss.
guess it depends.
Hydrated urine, you get 3 stars.
Yeah, 3
Guaranteed,
stars, right?
dude.
So we
Guaranteed.
weren't like
Or
super dehydrated.
You step up from
probably weren't,
Fabuloso to like Pine Sol.
Yeah. Because Aaron, you're drinking Fabuloso. You were saying.
I just like to drink it, yeah.
Okay.
I don't do anything else with it. Don't worry about that. I like. I've been to my doctor's office. And he has a chart for your color of urine, and it goes from like clear is like okay, you're hydrated. There's obviously like a darker tinge to the dehydrated, where your kidneys are
It's
really
kidney stones. It's
Yeah, but
kidney
that
stones.
means
Yeah.
but that means you're not drinking enough beer.
right. You're not getting enough milk.
Yeah,
stout.
it's academic from CSU.
Yeah, I know. I'm an Aggie at heart. But yeah.
Wait, did you not go to CSU?
No, I did not. I went to see you, which is not a big
What?
deal.
Really?
It's not
No.
a big
What?
deal.
Really? Because I have got
That's
my
why I
mouth
don't
shut.
remember you. That's why I don't remember you.
I'm
We
a
didn't go to
Buffalo.
college together.
I'm a Buffalo also.
Yeah, I know. We are.
Yeah,
the
we're
same.
Buffalo.
We're the
We
same.
are.
We are
went to high
Buffalo.
school together. Went to the
Does
college.
that feel weird that you like were cheated and stuff?
I mean, dude, I graduated with a degree in English, so I've known I was cheated
Philosophy.
since I started.
Yeah.
Come on.
My dad died, and that paid for
That's
my
not true.
college. No, that's not true.
I got one more review for you before I'm done. This is a
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, everybody's dads are gonna die.
Yeah.
Mine just happened to die while I was alive.
Not my kid's dad.
Yeah. Your kid's dad is gonna outlive your kids. That's a fun thought. But when he died, I got CU money.
One of my kids is Grogu, so I mean I got that. Now I got a third kid, the child. That's literally.
yeah,
kids
no,
with
dude,
a
dude,
child.
spoiler alert,
It's
dude.
fucking weird.
That episode's been out for 3
My
weeks.
son loves his Grogu, but he got it for me. So in the morning when I go to wake him up,
What is a Grogu?
It's a Baby Yoda.
God,
Yeah.
you don't have HBO?
It's not HBO, it's
It's
Disney,
Disney
Plus,
Plus.
motherfucker.
I just got.
Are you trying to shit on him for not having something that isn't even the accurate fucking TV program?
What is it?
God, I can't believe you have Nick at Night. Okay.
I don't have that either. I have
Wait, you don't have
Nick
stars?
during the
Let me
day.
do that.
You piece of
God, you
shit.
don't have Disney?
No,
Sort
I
of
do.
plus-
I do. No,
plus-
I
Fuck
do.
you,
No, I'm
Chad.
cool.
Fuck
You
you.
don't have Disney
No, no, no,
Plus?
it's fine, I'm
You don't
cool.
have Disney
I'm-
Plus?
Nah, yeah.
Dude, get a job.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey, for the guy that
yeah,
didn't know this
shots
was on
fired,
Disney Plus
dude.
at
Oh,
all,
God.
for you to be shitting on our friend like that, we're not going to stand for it, okay?
I'm
Hey,
somebody's
Chad,
friend.
I'll give you my
hey,
account.
step down.
Yet
This is your
yet
podcast. Step down.
gmail.com.
I will go ahead and activate that. What's the password?
I'll text it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chad.
Yeah, so the right thing to do right now
Have you
would be
really
to
not
give
done
him the
that?
password for your Disney Plus
That's
account.
all.
Just because I'm
Give it to everybody.
Oh my god, just because I spend my time watching The Emperor's New Groove and things that are
Have you
great.
not seen The Mandalorian?
Things that are
I
great.
haven't.
Chad, tell
Really?
everybody your
No, but
Disney
you're
Plus
joking,
password
right?
right
No,
now.
I'm serious, I don't.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah,
You
because
should
especially
watch-
because you
you
thought it
should
was an
watch
HBO
Mandalorian.
account.
Do you like
Having fun.
what
Good
is that
times.
called? Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Oh, the Mandalorian, the last
Star
four
Trek,
episodes.
yeah. You know,
This is really-
Do you
lightsabers.
like Star Wars though?
I've heard of it.
It's the best Star Wars has ever been.
No, I haven't.
Chad, I have
Really
something
cool.
for you.
Okay.
Chad,
I think we have one more review.
one
No, we
more
got two
review.
Can I drink this?
Two more reviews.
Are we sharing this? What is this?
Yeah, we want to split that up. It's
No,
the
you're
ale
stealing
gray.
it actually.
But open it up, just so I
I'm
can.
gonna open it to give it to Mary. You gotta let these things.
And
breathe.
Steve and I also have
No,
to
we're not
flute
doing
one
any
more
more of
beer.
those. Are you kidding me right now?
Why not?
Why not? Why not? Yeah,
What part
all
are
the
you-
police are at the
Go ahead,
Capitol.
Maybe
Let's
after the
drink and get
podcast.
home.
Read the review.
No, I'm taking an Uber.
Chad, 1 star. This is from Carlin Johnston. Johnston.
Is it to me though?
Dear Chad,
This is about Cricket
where are
Stave.
you? It's been 6 hours and you said you were going to the grocery store, and I need you home to feed the ducks.
I'm divorced. Oh no, wait, I'm still married to her.
The rubber ducks.
I
They
think
need
it's
to
a
eat.
joke. It's a fun joke.
It's a
until
fun
it
joke.
happens, and then it's like, oh fuck.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
Oh my life.
This is you.
From Colin Johnston. 2 years ago. 1 star.
Letting it.
This is not a tap room. Their beer is great, but the person who posted this picture of a beer in their review certainly didn't get it here. Not sure why this comes up as the first result on Google. 1 star.
What?
Yeah?
So what about any of
Sure
that?
that's
I'm gonna need to do more research because
that
I'm
literature?
confused.
You got a 1 star review from somebody else's picture.
okay.
Way to go.
So what was the date on this one?
This is from 2 years ago. It doesn't say the exact date.
That could have been.
But you did, some of you responded, it's a 2-year-old
So I
review.
personally.
Would you fire this person too? Jesus Christ.
No, so I personally called this guy, Colin, and I talked
Called
to him.
him?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, I mean, that's a great part about Google is that it steals all your information and gives it to
But
me.
it gives it to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you know how easy that is?
Apparently not.
I was
I
in a
know
movie
all
about
the
that.
porn you watch all the time. I'm literally watching you, taking photos.
This is us doing
Oh, wait,
Google
wait.
research
Let's go-
right
sorry,
now.
let's go back to
I'm
this.
watching
We
Aaron.
are Google.
Oh no,
I'm
somebody.
Oh, you thought
So-
Google was
so
watching
Colin-
you? We are Google.
So
we are
no,
watching you.
I thought this was a good one because I thought Colin had a great point here. So I actually, in Colin and I's conversation when I called him back, one of the things that Colin and I talked about was, will you read his review again? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, get back to the
One of the things that Colin and I talked about was that like I fully agree with him that the source is not a tap room. It's not so much that
He
it's
didn't
not,
say the source.
It's not even there anymore.
He just said this is not a tap room.
well, I know the time frame, so we're gonna pretend like it's the source.
Yeah, I mean, because it makes sense
Was this
that
place
the
even
source
open?
is not a tap room, right? Because it's
So the source is
surrounded by
a
businesses.
it was a weird market that had construction.
It's a
It was
shopping.
hard to park
I
at.
know what? Shopping
Yeah.
mall.
Can a park-
Shopping mall.
Also, the parking
No,
sucked.
no. It was an adult food court.
That's a pretty good one.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
all
I'll
those
give it.
places
Yeah, compared
are.
to Southwest Plaza,
Also
which
called
was
the
a high
Swingers
schooler's.
Club.
Dude, I worked
Hell
at the
yeah.
Zoomies there for so
you
long.
really?
Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
sold you guys some shorts.
I never went in that place. I was like, American Eagle or Buzz. I'm getting a rugby shirt.
You were an Aeropostale guy. I
Lower-
know
I
it.
wish I was there.
Lower
when
middle
I
class. Because you could have gone to Abercrombie.
could have.
Yeah, see, none of us
It
could
was too
afford
close
that.
to the
Abercrombie.
It was too close to the elevator.
You could if you had a trade set up between just for. Wait, I don't even remember the place that we put out of
Foot Locker.
business. What was it?
Ooh, you
God,
put a
alcohol's-
place out of business.
No, I didn't. Brandon Wheeler did.
Brandon Wheeler's. Oh,
Grand
that was
Wheeler.
not in the mall though.
Yeah, no.
That was across the street. What was that place called? It was a shoe
And Ryan
store?
Lamrecht.
It's
Was
now
this called?
now it's a Sprouts.
I think that's now not a
The
company
World
anymore.
Market?
Had
No,
nothing
no,
to do with
no.
us.
In that parking
Can I-
lot, though, there was a.
We should Google
there's
this.
The
Let's retell the
Sprouts
story.
used to be a shoe store
Oh, just for feet.
Yeah,
Was
it was
it
Just for feet.
Was it
It
just
wasn't
for
just
I
for
worked
feet.
there. I can't even remember.
Yes!
who I worked for.
give away shoes for free.
No, we did not.
Okay.
That's a lie.
Not used.
It was
typically.
also a Comp USA for a little bit.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was a Comp USA.
I worked at the
I'm
Hobby
gonna have
Lobby.
to.
in
I'm
the
gonna have
strip
to.
mall.
I'm gonna have to plead
Strip mall.
ignorance. I have no clue what you're talking about. Just for feet. However,
It's a hard.
That's the
winking
name.
Episode.
That's the name of my Patreon.
however, I remember working there with Brandon
It's
Wheeler,
just-
Ryan Lambrecht, Brooke Fanninsteel, Grant Muller,
Grant, my
Name
boy.
and names.
and I paid for at least 12 or 15 pairs of shoes that I had. I actually had a different pair of shoes for every outfit that I owned.
Yeah, you don't look
And-
like that guy at all.
Because I would buy those shoes, I would also trade with a friend who worked at Abercrombie.
My favorite
And
part.
Trade.
My favorite
Trade
part is
and
all the
pitch.
guys that worked there. They would come back with new styles to tie their shoes. So it was like you didn't just go from like eye hole to eye hole. You would like interweave it, and then your shoelaces would make this intricate pattern on your foot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was too
On the
busy
tongue.
sleeping.
I was too busy banging nobody because I'm a wuss.
Yeah.
But shout out to Bear Creek Just for Feet.
Hell yeah, dude.
Greatest.
Bear
workplace
Creek, Just
ever.
for
Speaking
That
of
job lasted at least 3 months.
speaking of
What
feet,
else?
this is actually a fantastic segue. We have
Don't
an
usually
Untapped
talk about
review.
this on public.
Our last Untapped review
Not.
for the evening,
None of
which
this
is
real.
from
Don't fabricate it.
Haley B for your sour seltzer.
I know her.
I bet.
0.25 stars.
Whoa.
Very low rating out of 5.
Why
So
did I think
bad
it's
time of the
0?
month.
Smells like a foot.
That's it.
Which is something. I mean,
No,
granted,
no,
that
it's okay.
It's
okay.
a seltzer,
Haley,
so
Haley B and I talked about this, right? Haley,
Haley and I talked.
Haley B and I talked, and here's the thing. Turned out she
Cardi B's
was pregnant.
cousin.
Yeah, that's
She was
And
pregnant.
one of-
everything
one of-
smells like feet.
One of the things about when you get pregnant is like certain
Heightened
things.
sense of smell.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I mean, women are, God bless them,
Gosh,
the greatest
so amazing.
sensory people in the world.
But kind of dumb.
No,
Yeah, we used
have you
that
seen their
on me.
vaginas? Amazing.
I mean,
That washes out anything. No matter what.
we're kind
Almost.
of like, yeah, it depends on which market you have and stuff.
Where would you put your penis if you had a choice? And I know the answer is a butthole, but whose?
It's really, is it Ryan Gosling's or is it? Is
Is
this for viewers?
Is it?
No, it's
Anna.
top 5 would be females.
Yeah.
for sure.
So your seltzer smells like
But it
feet.
wouldn't be vaginas.
A seltzer? You made a seltzer?
No, so she actually apologized for that.
Oh, she
And-
did?
Yeah. She didn't know she was
Wow.
pregnant at the time.
Oh, wow.
Turns out she was like 9 months pregnant.
Yeah,
But
which
you know
I
what?
mean, you had to talk her into.
She didn't know she was 9 months.
That's real. It
That's a
happened.
TLC show. I didn't know
There's
I
a
was
whole TV
pregnant.
show that revolves
Left eye
around it,
died,
right?
dude. Just like Ted.
What guy?
No, left eye.
Left eye. Lisa
She
Left
died.
Eye.
Lisa Left Eye
She
was-
was-
Oh yeah,
she was
she's
pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah, she died.
She was
Lisa
pregnant.
Left Eye?
just
A
like
long
Ted.
time ago.
But
Hey,
yeah, she was
Yeah,
pregnant.
she
A
did.
very long
Die
time
a long
ago.
time ago.
Hold on. Not that she died. That
She's
is common
dead.
knowledge. Did she have a baby inside her or a fetus?
No one said that. What the fuck?
You're relating Lisa Left Eye's.
You said TLC.
You s-
Yeah, it's his favorite movie channel. Like, what do you want?
Yeah,
No, the
TLC
band.
has
No, the
a
group.
TV show.
The group.
Yeah, there's a group.
There was.
There was.
Lisa Left Eye died.
Yeah.
What does
Like
TLC
Ted.
stand for?
Tender
Tanya.
loving
It
care.
stands for Don't Go
Lisa.
Chasing Waterfalls.
No, tender loving care.
Please.
Okay, so
Tots
Haley-
loving children.
Haley B was pregnant,
Related
and
to Cardi B?
she tried to edit. It's kind of like it's a flaw with Untapped. Turns out when she went back and did side by sides with, I kid you not, this is like
I kid you
full
not.
full
This
proof.
used to be
She did a side by side with White Claw,
And baby.
Truly. Is that a seltzer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know, and all the other best seltzers ever, and she was like, Crooked Stave is legit.
I feel like you're making this up,
Oh.
but I also like.
Oh, yeah.
that-
Prove it.
Here's the thing that
No, but she was
I
pregnant,
don't
and
get
now she's not.
about people that come to a
Because
sour
of Crooked
brewery
Stave.
and it says sour seltzer literally on the can or whatever the fuck, draft or whatever it
Draft.
was, but
I've had
And it
lime
says
LaCroix. It
they
is sour.
don't
and it is a
expect-
seltzer.
I love LaCroix.
Hell yeah.
and they
Shout
don't
out
ex-
to LaCroix, our sponsor.
and they don't expect any sour flavor whatsoever. I find that obnoxious.
Actually, she
Give me
was
one of those
probably,
fucking flutes.
she was probably
By the way.
complaining
Steve's
because
not
there
gonna
wasn't
do
the
one.
flute.
She
I
was
said I'll
probably,
do one after, but
Give the boy the flute.
Yeah, we're almost.
she was probably complaining because there wasn't enough acidity in it. Actually, oh here, yeah.
We're running out of
Good for
room
you.
under
Are you
Long-
you
long
pour one
brush
yourself?
Yeah, he's got it right here.
Steve,
I
get
got
a
all
one
white
picture
now.
for me.
oh,
Video picture?
baby. Video picture? You mean a
there's
video?
wine. Oh,
Well, I'm
that
saying
combo,
whichever
look
one
at
you
that.
want.
It's like a beach on Mexico. Look at that. Oh, dude, you are.
What, infested with solicitors?
He put in the wine. He put in the.
That one's for Steve.
He put in the juicy
It's
waters.
like no, that one's for
That's
Steve.
for me
shit.
with the
Yeah,
fucking
you
wine
look,
and the
dude.
beer in it?
That-
It's like a fucking flavor change.
That's fun. That is what
God
fun looks
damn
like.
it.
It's like a Slurpee.
Yeah, dude, just
It's like when
mix
you're
the
like
flavors.
yeah, when you're young.
Christ.
Alright, here, hold
Yeah,
on.
suicide.
Hold on.
Can you
I can
have
film
that?
it.
Can
Yeah.
you have fun?
Gotta get another film. But I wanted like a film with like Chad and I.
Okay.
Can you make sure
Oh,
that?
Let's go back to you, baby.
Yeah, go to Chad. Go to Chad.
No, he can't have that because his.
No, you got this
orders-
one. I'll do the next one.
Because of flavor? God damn it.
Baby.
Nah, we've already got one of Steve.
Go
and I,
Bear
so
Creek.
it's like,
Come
whatever.
on. We'll do the next one.
You know what?
That's
Yeah,
okay.
there's gotta be.
If
Hey,
we're
ready?
saying go Bears, it's you and I.
Go Bears.
Alright, we gotta end this
Okay,
podcast.
Aaron and
sometime
you, it's
soon.
it.
Alright.
Oh, we still haven't even opened Au revoir.
I know.
Oh my god, there's no time. We're running out of time. Well, you guys, this has been one of our better podcasts that we've ever had.
Really is, actually.
It's the longest one we've ever had.
Nobody talks beer better than Chad Yakobson. Aaron
I'm not gonna
Maslow,
lie,
what a
I knew that was
comedian!
gonna
If he didn't give up on his life
If
to
can't
give
go.
it to his garden and his chickens.
But one thing I do want to get to before we wrap up the
Shut up,
episode.
Aaron. Let's move on.
Okay, next subject.
Before we wrap up the episode,
I'm Steve.
I mean, do you want to wrap up, or do you want to just do this as like 2 hour and a half
Oh,
episodes?
like steam came out.
Oh, let's just do it as one, but I don't care how long it is.
Jesus.
We'll edit that comment out, but yeah.
No, we're not.
Wash it.
I mean, it's
Suck it, listeners.
You may have to
Bonus
edit it so
footage.
much that
This
it'll
is-
be funny that it's edited.
nah. This is just
No,
live.
we
This
don't
is just
care.
how it
This is all
happens.
good. And
So
also,
opening
hey
right-
guys,
it's not-
hey,
it's not live,
hey guys,
because
hold
we-
on. You're talking, but hold
You're
on.
talking.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
My
But
wife says that
also,
all the
if
time.
we
Like,
run
you're
into my
talking
wife,
to me.
if we run into my wife,
Go
it is
Bears!
What? Yeah, Bear Creek forever. But also,
C.
what is the date?
Oh.
February
31st.
31st.
Oh,
That is correct,
damn.
you guys.
What does that spell? Defense.
Go Bills.
Okay.
Condoms.
So actually, let's switch the conversation a little bit. Chad, have you ever seen Aaron do comedy?
I have once.
And what did you think?
That Aaron has one of the best jokes I've ever heard.
And do you
And that's
want
coming
to?
from a guy who's met George Carlson.
Man.
I'm
I
also
didn't know any jokes.
Oh, boy.
I'm also a big Kim Jodan.
I'm gonna puke milk stout.
Jerry Seinfeld? Gary Seinfeld.
Gary Seinfeld.
Aaron,
That's
would you
on
be-
that compliment.
Hey, listen. With this podcast doesn't necessarily reach the entire country. Would you be comfortable telling the joke?
Please
The
do it.
joke, of course.
You tell it. Yes.
Oh man, but it's been so long.
Would you be
I
comfortable
can
telling
hardly
the joke?
remember. Man, kids are oh yeah. Hold on, let me start where I start.
I know it's so hard to do it
It
in
is
front of like
hard.
not an audience, right?
Carl.
Yeah, you know, I do have children. I have 3 wives. Thank you. No, I have 3 kids, and you know, I think kids are. What is the joke that I tell usually? It's some kids are accidents, but all kids are mistakes. The thing is, one of my twins are potty training. One of them is good at it, but the other one's not very good. He'll go in the bathroom and just piss on the seat because he's an asshole. So I tried to teach him better. I took him outside and like, let's pee on nature. That'll be fun. And he liked that idea. And what he would do is he'd run outside when I wasn't looking. And one day I caught him. I was at the kitchen sink washing dishes, and he was outside, lined up on the tree. And he smiled back at me, and I waved at him, and he wiggles his pants down to his ankles, and then he shits out his ass. And that thing looked like a stogie. I mean, it was hanging out his ass. It was like a ponytail, like a shitty ponytail. That thing, it was hanging right out of his butt, and then it broke off with like a vigor, like gravity got it in, and it flies down, and it hits his underwear, and it bounces out, and I could see it fly through the air over to the yard where the dogs eat. And I had to go get a shovel, and hit him with it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. That's just a joke. I don't hit.
It's not though.
shovels.
It's
No,
not
it
though.
isn't.
It's
very
real,
accurate.
but that's
No,
why it's
there's-
funny.
And there's more to it, but you know what? These kids are morons, and I love them, but they're unneeded. So anyway, thank you for coming out tonight, you guys. This has been the podcast.
Wait, call somebody a cunt.
Hey, lady, you're a cunt.
I bought all the tickets.
Anyway, thank you for having me, you guys. This has been one of the most
Hey,
fun.
applaud that. The fact that he just told one of his bits.
I want
on
you
the
just
fucking
called me a
channel.
cunt.
Well, you're an
Anybody
ugly
going.
lady. Anyway,
Just
you
call me
guys
a
are
cunt.
great. Thank you to Crooked Stave. Thank you to Rotating Tap. I'm Aaron Maslow. This has been one of the most unproductive evenings of my life, and I couldn't be more grateful.
I've
So,
seen your sets, Maslow.
Yeah.
And simultaneously,
It's
one
right
more
in line.
productive.
It's in line. It's in line.
But you're about to.
Can't be more grateful.
You're gonna do a flute
Yeah,
or
we're gonna
something in particular. What is it?
We're gonna shambong this.
So, considering the fact that it's actually January
6th?
no,
Six.
February
6th.
6th.
It's
January-
the 6th.
January
It's the day
6th.
that infidels stormed the Capitol.
So, besides the American coup, North American, aka United States of America coup, we have something we have something against 2020 apparently, even though it really wasn't that bad for
Yeah.
us.
Well,
We have dumpster
That's
fires,
drinkers.
dumpster
Yeah.
fires,
It's relatable.
and this one's au revoir, and I think this
So
sells.
long.
It says farewell 2020. I'm not making this up. Next part I'll make up. Fuck you and
Under
all
each
of your
label is
fun.
$100 bill.
Ooh, where? Oh, fuck you.
You gotta tip it upside down to
fuck,
find it.
mates.
So, we had fun. Called beer au revoir 2020, and it's meant to shambong. And so that's what we have: sour rosé beer
For
Yeah.
shambonging.
in a shambong white
Shambong
glass.
that.
Shambong.
Goes
So
off
I think
Plain
Corey and
glass.
you grabbed, but you're grabbing the wrong one.
No.
You can have thirds.
You guys have no.
But
I
first,
didn't know.
Corey needs to have his, and
Of
Corey
course.
and I.
Yeah.
I want to do this with Corey,
Of course.
and then you can have Corey's A's.
Suck
And
it,
Corey's,
Maslow.
COVID.
Do with me.
I would
Pass me that
love
shit.
to watch you guys fucking drink that shambong.
Oh, damn it. Luckily,
Tight.
I had no product.
2021, baby.
Cheers. Thank you guys.
To another grand year. Let the roaring 20s begin.
Well, that's been the
Ooh, that's a good one.
podcast
You guys should
today.
do that one.
How have you,
Oh, that's so
have you
lovely.
tasted it?
Yeah.
It really
Those
is
are
Have you
nice.
tasted all the
You should definitely try it.
It's
Shambong
sour.
beers?
This one's sour rosé. Basically, we packaged. a
I
couple
love
of-
sour. Dude, you're sour.
But the fact that you put it in bottles actually makes it more sellable to like basic white bitches. The fact that they want to have it in a bottle because
I
it
don't
is-
really like rosés because of that.
Yeah, but it's not a
This
rosé. Like it's a
is-
sour rosé,
no,
so it's
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 so-
one of
so it's-
their sour
it's
beers,
so
but it has
very
like a
good.
rosé quality to it.
Oh,
which
okay,
is-
yeah.
Is this your comment?
Is there any reason for this podcast to keep going on?
No,
of
no,
course.
yeah.
Just give us a send off, dude. Give us a.
Look,
we need a
none of us are
website.
running-
we need
none
some
of us are running for
contact
president.
information.
No, we're just
So this
gonna.
information doesn't matter.
Crooked
We're gonna
Stave.com.
shambong this. All right, so here
Yeah.
before we
No, we got the
before Aaron and
.ca.
Steve shambong this into the 2021.
Cheers.
Is there
2020.
anything you want to promote before we get out of here?
No, I
Crooked
mean,
Stave.
from an honest standpoint, the things to talk about were like 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
The Vienna lager, stuff like that. It was kind of fun. The wine and things.
I'm
like
sorry to
that.
interrupt.
You're
The
good.
fact that you're not promoting Go Bear Creek Bears right now, I'm pretty upset. Go Bears!
Go Bears, yeah, dude.
I mean, it's a top 5.
Coal Bears or
but
Go
it's not
Bears?
number 1.
Hey, cheers.
Nah, you can get these. So you can get.
Cheers.
Let me see you go bananas!
Yeah, that's right. What's that you
Look.
say?
I just want to talk about Steve Burdick right now.
Oh
Like,
shit, man.
Whatever.
Did you
All right,
wrestle?
we're ending the fucking.
Did you wrestle?
We're ending the fucking podcast.
So,
No.
Did you
thank
guys-
you so much
Fuck
for
yeah, that's what-
listening!
You
Yeah,
can
so
find Crooked
our
Stave
wrestling-
beers
our
all
wrestling
over the
coach-
country.
Steve Burdick.
Do it one more time.
You can
And then I'll
find
go
Crooked
into that.
Stave beers all over the country in mostly cans, right? But
I think you
have a
still
lot
need
of
to go
bottle
again because I'm
releases.
still interrupting for a little bit.
It's okay.
You can buy Crooked Stave beers all over the country.
No, you really can, and you can visit their Denver tap room, which is really charming, beautiful, and we love what they're doing here.
This
And
is the worst.
every expansion.
you.
Children are allowed.
Yeah, you bring your kids. There's a
Hey.
playroom.
We're very
Lots of
grateful that
food
this finally
scheduled.
happens because we've been planning on this for about a year, which is why this episode took so long to actually record. But yeah, man, like we're just stoked to be here.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, I think this is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to joke around, play around, have fun.
As Aaron smells half the beer flute.
But also, like,
Those are hard to manage.
also
Yeah,
let
this
loose.
sucks.
Like, this is like. I think we should edit this and say this was filmed December 31st.
No,
This is-
February 8th or something. Come
No,
on,
no,
man.
no,
My wife's
this
gonna
is-
find
yeah.
out about this shit.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
Happy New Year's!
No, I'm saying this was filmed February 1st, 2020. Like,
Yeah,
this
that's
was
fine,
the
that's
most
fine.
debaucherous episode right before it. Like, where's
Cheers, New Year's!
We're
You
paying
guys remember
attention.
when somebody stormed the fucking Capitol building?
No, God.
Let's go Bears!
Here we go, Bears. Here we
Cheers.
go.
All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate
Does anybody
y'all.
know Justin Holland?
Yes.
Goodbye.
He set all the records.
That's
all the
really
It was
records.
so good.
That's really good.
We're out.
I'm sorry, you guys.
No, you
No.
don't have to apologize. That
I
was
don't know how
great.
much that's gonna be. We can do this again without Aaron.
No.
And then
So
we
if
can-
we do
have a
anything,
good
we
time.
might
You guys
dice it up
will have
into 2 episodes, but like, no, we're keeping everything.
Yeah, I would edit
Yeah,
everything
I'd say
Aaron
do
said
it all
out.
in one.
But
Most
you
of
know,
it was not good. Yeah, I think we redo
Like,
it.
you're an
I
asshole.
think we redo it.
I was trying to,
Did you
like,
say Aaron Maslow or you're an asshole?
I said both those things. I thought I would help
It's
Aaron
those.
by like man, I can like revamp his career, you know, by getting him on this again.
Well, he needs it.
Yeah.
We all know
And
he
it
needs
turns
it.
out
We do need it.
we should film this again next week.
We should do it every week without me.
Oh, now you wanna? You haven't? I haven't heard from you in a year. Now you
Every
want
week.
twice in 1 week.
We should make this like Thursday thing.
Oh,
What
that's
day-
crazy.
what
I'm
day is
busy
it today?
Thursday.
Wednesday thing.
Yeah.
What day is it today?
Just
Let's
can't
do a
wait to
regular
drink in my
hang.
mask. Does milk stout and sour anything go together?
Dude, everything we mixed up on the table today does not go together.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it's,
I agree with that.
yeah, if
Some
you made a
wild
mix
shit.
pack, if you made an individual mix pack out of anything, like you
Signal
just grab from
burst.
Crooked Steak,
You
like,
can
none of
have
this.
one.
Yes.
That's it. And
Yeah.
then wait.
Yeah.
I had a good time. Hey, I'm gonna
That was
grow
good.
mushrooms. I think.
That's but still,
Why didn't you bring that up
Yeah.
on the show?
I
That's
have
what's
some,
interesting.
if you
you said.
wanna, I don't know if they're still alive. I have ones that are from college, but they're from Ecuador.
Wait a
that
minute.
are
So
still
they,
inside.
no, but
What
they're
do you
from
mean?
Ecuador. Why would you
You
hang
haven't
on
done
to
them?
mushrooms that long?
Because
I don't think
I
Is there a
just
goddamn
didn't- I
fruit?
just didn't grow them again. But I
Is
still
it
have 'em.
spores or
Yeah,
what's
spores.
just mushrooms?
Yeah, so they're in syringes, right?
Okay.
Because like if you do the ball jars,
Yeah.
so you do vermiculite,
Talking
like brown
about,
rice
yeah.
and everything like that, and then you like
Mm,
same way like canning process, you can it and everything.
Mhm.
You do the 4 holes in the
I know.
I watched the
Uh-huh.
video. Yeah. Yeah.
and so then you get these, so they're in syringes.
Yep.
That way you can kind of like
Inject
inject
it.
through into
Yep.
it. Yep. So I have
Environment.
it's like psilocybin equatorius,
Just
Yeah, I'd
spores.
say no,
There's
you're
a
just
there's a
saying
spot
that. So they're
in
like smaller
Denver that
ones
sells
from
just
Ecuador.
spores.
but are like psilocybin spores.
Yeah.
Cool.
All sport like
It's
all
really
correct.
it's really strange. The spores are technically illegal. What you do with them is
No.
illegal,
Yeah, what you do with them is illegal. You can
but the
sell them
spores
legally.
is legal.
But there's
yeah.
like a Denver or not psilocybin. There's a Denver spore company or something like that.
Cool.
Look them up. But
Cool.
so I'm doing this.
Yeah, these-
how do I
all it-
stop it?
All it is.
Oh God!
Just literally click.
Hey, illegal
Yeah.
activity.
Well, I mean,